We smoking, we drinking, we vibing, we thinking. If we disagree, we don't budge. We listen and we judge. Come chill with your favorite crew and do it like critically drinking do.
Pour a glass, let the convo flow. Hot topics like bubble guts got us ready to go. Rashawn, Bree, and Yella shake the table again. These are three rare spirits and rarer friends.
We smoking, we drinking, we vibing, we thinking. If we disagree, we don't budge. We listen and we judge. Come chill with your favorite crew and do it like critically drinking do.
We talk that talk, but it's more than fun. Finding hidden gems when the convo's done. We stay pouring the truth like it's top shelf whiskey. It's 100% proof by how much you niggas miss me.
We smoking, we drinking, we vibing, we thinking. If we disagree, we don't budge. We listen and we judge. Come chill with your favorite crew and do it like critically drinking do.
No script, no lines, just the realest vibes. Through the lens of laughter, we analyze. With a toast and a joke and a spark in the air. We're breaking it down cause we truly don't care.
We smoking, we drinking, we vibing, we thinking. If we disagree, we don't budge. We listen and we judge. Come chill with your favorite crew and do it like critically drinking do.
What up, what up? Oh, shoot. She disappeared. She ain't come back. What up, y'all? What is up? What is up? See Inya in the building. Hey, you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Let me see. I gotta add this note in. Give me a second. It's adorable, isn't it? Are we adorable? Are we the cutest of the patootiest? I'm adorable. Look at that.
I definitely see a snack. I am distracted by like a snack or something.
That's probably where the TV is. You probably watching what's that? Gracie's Corner.
Right.
Yeah, man. Oh, Wallace. He do look like Wallace. He do look like Wallace. I do. They got me looking like Wallace. Spirit of Wallace is all on me. I can't take it. All right, man. So listen. Got me choking. I can't stand y'all. All right, so listen. We're gonna talk a little bit about shoot, golly. Let me get a talk about. What up, Bree?
Hello. Oh my gosh. This is such a cute picture.
It's adorable. I'll send it to you.
But not a statue in the back watching this.
Yeah. The average black mom
Yeah, the average white male. Yella, what you do to Rashawn?
What you mean?
Why
He
he over
passed
there
me the blunt.
choking? I'm
He
about to
passed me the
say,
blunt.
dang.
I wasn't
yeah.
ready.
What
You
y'all
got
over
that
there
new
fooling
stuff.
with? Right.
Oh man, woo! He got that Lego pack. He's smoking.
Right. Them little candy cigarettes.
Yeah, man.
That was terrible.
Was.
They used to just be doing anything in the 90s. Sorry. You good now?
Good is relative. I'm gonna say
Okay.
I'm waiting for
You
the
could,
next choking fit.
okay, I'm about to say you could speak without
I got a
dying.
cough drop. For the
Okay.
moment. We'll see how long that helps. Woo.
You
Not
know what?
long.
Oh Lord. Well,
It
welcome
didn't
to the
happen. I was
stream.
fine until we went live. I went live
It's
and
the
all of a sudden my
AI.
phone was like, nope.
I think it's StreamYard. You got to clear your cache
Man, for real.
in your
Woo.
body.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a brief talk about AI. I know Bree said she had somewhere to go today, so Chop, we're gonna get this inside of 2 hours. So what I did was change what I had. So I have oh crap, 3 videos I want to reference.
Okay.
Oh my god, and then but I want to start here. So I found this. It just felt timer. So let's hit this up real quick. I know you like the overlay yellow. We taking it down.
I got
Oh,
Rugrats.
it's all good. It's all good. Now why y'all disappear? You know what? This thing is just goofy.
Yeah, this new thing, like when you take stuff down, it like does weird stuff. I don't know. They did an update recently.
Yeah, it's
And
throwing
it's been
everything
doing
off.
weird stuff since.
I
Yeah.
was trying to do something. That's what I was trying to. That's
Go
why I
ahead and
looked.
twerk with it, because this is
Yeah,
Go ahead
yeah.
and twerk with it while this is playing. Because I found this just like the other day. I was like, what is this? The photo on the thumbnail looked like AI. So I was like,
Oh, okay.
Look back, baby. Do you remember how happy we used to be? You can try to walk away, but there's something that holds us tight. Something that keeps bringing you back to me.
okay, I see.
Look back, baby. Do you remember how happy we used to be?
I like it. I like it.
You can try to walk away, but there's something that holds us tight. Something that keeps bringing you back to me. I don't know why, but I swear we were made for each other. Yeah. Made for each other. You mess with my head, but I close my eyes to all your wrongs. You bring so much doubt, baby. You nearly drive me crazy, but that don't shake me, 'cause I know there's no use in fighting this. I know sooner or later we'll be right back where we started, all over again, starting over again. Next time we'll be together, I'll wake up right next to you. Baby, baby, baby. There's something about us, it pulls us through. Yes, something about us, still the same, just me and you.
All right. So let's pause up there. I thought that was smooth when I heard it. I said,
So
that's not bad.
is that all AI?
That's all AI. I mean, not those people was, I guess, stock footage or maybe them. I don't know, but there was
I
an AI
don't.
person at the beginning,
Yeah, some of
and
that
then
footage look AI. I think.
some of the footage was that white lady and the black guy. That those two were real.
Okay, so I was about to say, why don't people look real? So it's probably
Yeah, them
like
people were
stock
real.
images, and then they
Yeah.
use AI to fill in the spaces, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah. So
cooked.
which one we supposed to be cooking on? Yellow. I'm gonna let you fix. I'm gonna let you place us. I don't even know. I'm clicking on stuff and we disappearing. I don't know what's happening. We up.
Oh,
We
is there
way
No,
something
you
else
good.
down
Yeah.
there? I only see
Once,
one thing. And, yeah.
now,
yeah.
once you take the video down, yeah,
Yeah.
once you take the video down, then
We up
it's
here.
gonna
I
just
see.
show the yeah, we in the corner.
Yeah, we in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In the corner. Hold up.
Matter of
Get the
fact,
next
hold
video
on.
queued up. But what I was gonna say, I want to know what, and anybody in the chat, what are the uses that you have started? If you've started playing with AI, what do you use it for? And Brian Yella, have you used anything knowingly that you know has AI in it?
I'll let Yella go
Ooh.
first.
What have I used with well recently I used most recent use was my shooting from the script logo.
Okay.
Okay.
That holster
Yeah.
yeah, it was
And
generated from a bigger like a bigger kind of logo.
so did
Okay.
you have to edit it though? Like to get it right? So
I
they
did.
made it the original. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that yeah, I was showing y'all that one with the F on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I kind of like modified it to how it look now.
Right.
So yeah, it gave me somewhere to start though, because I couldn't find nothing that looked like that with the little F type shape that was
Right.
facing that direction. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
I use AI for kind of all over the place. I don't really use it for art beyond concepts.
Okay.
If why is Moot up here? But if I do use it for art, it'd be like, okay, for instance, my thumbnail for this past Sunday, I hadn't made one and it was kind of time for the
Okay.
show. So I had AI kind of just reference what I had already done and give me a setup for the thumbnail. And then once it gave me kind of like a preliminary, like a thumbnail, I made it basically. I made that thumbnail.
Gotcha. Use it as a template.
Yeah, I kind of use it as a template because I just didn't have
Gotcha.
time. So if I do thumbnails or any kind of art, I will use it just kind of as concept art, and then I will kind of go from there.
What up? What?
Um, as far as other things, I chat with AI, so I do a lot of study. I use it as a study thing. I have ChatGPT Plus, so I be using ChatGPT for everything. Grocery lists, diet plans, makeup tips, shopping, outfit, style guides, like Bible study companion,
Mm-hmm.
concepts for business, marketing
Mm.
plans, budgeting, uh efficiency,
Ooh. Yeah.
3-month
Yep.
quarterly plans for how to pay off debt within
Yep.
reasonable parameters. And
Yep.
then I also use AI just for fun. I do AI role playing chats using Chai app or a character AI. And sometimes if I am stuck in a mental block and I don't want to emotionally vomit all over my husband or my friends, which is very rare, I may go to the AI therapist spot. But I
Okay.
also have a real therapist, and I will say that they aren't the same. It's not the same, but it
Yeah.
can be helpful for little stuff like, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck on this mental block. Give me some
Yeah.
ways to get past it. But I would say it's not as good as my therapist is, at least my
Oh
real life
yeah.
therapist, because she pushes back in a way that I just don't think AI can. But
Nah.
yeah, so I use AI in all sorts of things.
I would say the insight that comes from experience, AI just doesn't have unless it's programmed in there. Like, oh,
Right.
this person said this, Like somebody with
Right.
insight would have to program those insights into it from their experience.
Yeah, I think role playing therapist bots are better than Chat GPT. I will
Okay.
say that. Like if
Yeah.
somebody makes a therapist bot and they load modalities and
Yes.
things into the persona
Yep.
of the bot, it is a
Yep.
better bounce back than just going to Chat GPT and asking it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I do agree because you can I guess program in like you said the modalities like 'cause I know
Right.
I think I've made a cognitive behavioral therapist one.
Right. Yeah.
So it is definitely useful. I have much the same palette as you. Like I use it more for art than you do, of course. But I'm not a creative. I have no art talent. I have art ideas, but no ability to output it. I can't do music. I cannot draw even a straight line if I wanted to, and if I wanted to draw a crooked line, it would be straight. For some reason, I have an art aversion when it comes to my body. My brain loves art. My body
My body is like,
is
we
allergic.
don't art.
Yeah, we have art. So AI has been like the biggest blessing because I can get concepts out of my head, and it's like
Yeah.
finally, I've had so many things just die in my brain that I couldn't make manifest, and I
Right.
can't explain it to people. It's like because I don't even have the language. Like if I have a melody in my head, I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know how to explain it to a person that knows music. I could whistle it or something, but that probably doesn't even do it because it doesn't capture instrumentation or like what instrument I'm hearing, what
Right.
sound is it
Right.
making, what tone, what key. So it's been for me it's been great, but I'm listening to so many people talk about the drawbacks of it, and I'm
Oh yeah.
curious what you guys think. I do have some videos that we can start with, but before you even get to the videos, what do you feel are the possibilities and the problems that are going to come from AI? And if you're still in the chat, drop that in the chat. Finesse Watts, if you think you gotta, you said AI tripping, and it
AI
sometimes.
true. And
What do you think
sometimes.
are the possibilities of it, and what do you think are the problems? But let's start with you, Yella.
I mean, so the possibilities in the pros, I guess, would
Mm-hmm.
definitely be um like that video you seen. That's cool to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you can use that in certain places like the movie industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People who use special effects. Like that's one of my guilty pleasures is watching special effects videos and how people
Yeah.
do stuff, and you know what I'm saying? That makes a movie sometimes. It could be a trash story with some awesome special effects. And I was like, it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So if that can come into play as far as helping that industry, because they always looking for stuff like that. And I think it would actually help because for some reason graphics have taken a step back.
Mm.
Like I was just watching a video how um CGI and all this stuff has kind of regressed a little bit.
Okay.
So I think AI could help kind of refine that and innovate it.
Mm.
Um, the issues, like the problems, the cons for me would come with all of these companies using AI as their employment bot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's a problem.
Oh man.
That's gonna be a problem. Yeah, because that's just another system of employment, and I mean it works, but everybody's gonna start doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just gonna be weird. Constantly communicating your first employment, like the first steps to employment are going through AI, and
Mm-hmm.
you fuck around and fall through the cracks
Yep.
because the AI system ain't working or nothing like that or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
because I've been applying in a lot of these places. Have you start with AI? Like your first thing is talking to Allison or
Oh.
Olga or
Ooh, and them
Rebecca.
bots are so good at clocking T. Ooh, the bots are good at clocking T. The boy, I'm telling you, I don't blame them.
No.
I do
Not
not blame them.
bots are good at perceiving things. I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's their main function
Character
is
archetypes.
yeah,
Yeah.
perceiving. So it's They're solid, but I guess the responsiveness is the problem. 'Cause we are using it to be lazy a lot of times. So I get it. We had the same problem with computers when they started feeding resumes and cover letters through computers instead of people looking at them, looking for certain words and things like that. So I can see it doubling down. I can see it getting worse with the AI and the level of, I would say,
I think
filtration. that it can avoid.
it's, to speak to what Yella's talking about, I think it's great, but
Mhm.
I think it's the problem that I think I'm seeing is in the world where humans get to perceive and decide what
Mhm.
reality is. I think that the reality was more true to what people really are. Like, I think that that was the case. With AI, I think there would be a compulsion towards greed for the exceptional.
Okay.
Because AI will be good at filtering out the exceptional. Like, they will know if someone is exceptional,
Okay.
and they will know if someone is not. And I think most people are not exceptional.
Ooh.
But I think with the tools at hand to find exceptional, I think people will start only wanting exceptional.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't think a lot of these jobs deserve exceptional.
That
So there's like a
They don't.
capitalism clash of the humans have adjusted to the society we've created. Most of these dead end jobs or trash jobs aren't worth all your energy and effort. So why would we be exceptional when you're only paying me fucking $10 an hour? I'm not going to be exceptional. But I think with the tools able to, filter that out, they're going to keep seeking what they deem exceptional. But they're not going to raise the standards. They're not going to raise their own standards of paying
Right.
better. They're not going to pay exceptionally. They're not going to treat you better. But I think that's the problem I think it's going to create.
No, I completely agree. I already
The
had a video
bots.
that kind of touches on that. Go ahead, Yella.
No, I would say the bots only hiring bots. The bots only
Mhm.
like searching for bots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bots or the people that are really good at it. Like, I can't lie. Like, playing with character AI and all kind of role playing bots, I know AI is good at picking out archetypes. Just because there is a language model. In language, despite what humans want to pretend, language matters. The words you choose tell a lot
Yeah.
about who you are.
Yes.
And so I know the AI is picking out certain archetypes. I know that it can tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So
then we're gonna have the courses, how to write a resume. Then we got the videos, how to write a resume. So AI picks your resume.
Mhm.
What
I
but
words?
mean,
you
but
really
that's
can't
how
do that.
markets go.
Right.
Like something emerges, somebody tells you how to utilize it, somebody else tells you how to exploit it, and somebody else tells you how to exploit the people to use it. It's just
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all exploiting. I mean, AI could be a very good equalizer, but people, because it's America, it's gonna always swing to exploiting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I guess my main concern with AI, because for me, it's allowed me a level of creative freedom that I did not have before. But I also understand I'm one bound to it for that creative freedom. Like I won't be able to create music without it. I won't be able to create some of the art I do without it. Like I just won't have the capacity. Like before, I was like finding an image that's kind of like what I wanted, cutting and pasting, and like cobbling together, making a collage of sorts. But now I can just generate an image that's cohesive already, and I don't have to try to manage lighting. Or this one was shot in the daytime, this one shot in the nighttime. So let me try to work with the lighting and try to make it like. No, I don't have to do all that. So it's beautiful for me, but I also see the drawbacks of dependence, like Inyan's alluding to in the chat, and I also see. I know because of tech, like the historical overview, when new tech emerges, yes, there is a boom that helps the regular person. I don't have to wash my own clothes anymore. I can just put it in the machine and press this button. That's fantastic. But then there also then becomes a disparity as well. The people that can afford the new tech or the people who have access to it earlier. Like those things create disparities that I know are pervasive. And AI, I'm worried. I'm worried about black folks, y'all. I'm worried that black folks are going to be superstitious about AI. I'm worried about because
Oh
what I
God.
see with AI is like the new Google.
Yeah,
It's a tool. It's
it's a
useful.
tool, but you know how we are with tools.
Yes. Because they make this thing personality driven, I'm afraid a lot of black people with our religiosity are gonna make this like pseudo demonic. What kind of
Oh
spirits are
my
in
God.
there?
Please tell me you have the video of the lady who recorded herself speaking in tongues and put it into ChatGPT and freaked herself out when ChatGPT interpreted tongues.
I have not seen that.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Touch
God.
grass.
But I'm worried we're going to be behind the curve on using the tool, even for like what, for leisure, for economy, for commerce. I fear that we're just. My worry is that we're going to just be behind the eight ball because of our superstitions.
We
And that's kind of
always
why.
behind.
Yeah, we always behind, but I feel
Like
like this
10 or
one.
20 years. I feel like 20.
Yeah,
Let's say 10 years. We be
yeah,
like 10 years behind.
yeah. But see, typically when there's an
We closed the
advancement,
gap a bit. Yeah, we
We
closed the gap
close
a
a little
bit.
bit.
It was
yeah.
about 10. Yeah.
With most stuff though, it's so neutral that it doesn't trigger a thing. Like a computer, like okay, maybe people are afraid of it because it's new. I remember the old people being afraid of computers.
Yeah, they say ChatGPT demonic. That's like an
And
accepted
see,
thing. It's an
there we
entity.
go. And that's what I thought we were going to go to. I
Oh yeah,
thought
we there.
people. I feel like black people with religiosity, because it's having personality. This thing can't have a soul and a spirit. It has a like I knew. I knew.
Yeah,
So
we
we're
already
gonna be
there.
afraid, and we're just gonna fall behind. We're gonna fall behind.
But
I'm sorry.
religious people always stay behind.
Oh my God, this is gonna be bad. Okay.
I mean, religious people just generally stay behind.
Yeah.
Just because of supernatural versus science,
Yeah.
always kind of bumping heads.
Faith
So they
versus
always try
fact.
to find they always kind of choose to stay in the superstitious or supernatural.
Yeah.
Like it's a choice that comes with
Yeah.
religious thinking to stay out of science. So I think just by default, they always a little cuckoo.
Okay. I'm gonna pull in this verse video. I know Nice looking for it. But I switched the order because you said something that triggered this. Talking about the capitalism. The capitalism comes in here. There's a Fiverr CEO explains alarming message to workers about AI.
I love Fiverr.
As you know, there's
You like Fiverr?
Yeah, I use Fiverr sometimes if I want to find like an artist to do something, support the artist, give you a little chibi or something. Yeah.
Now, when was the last time you used Fiverr for art?
Recently that cherry blossom shirt I was working on. I don't know if y'all remember Black Girl with the pink and green and stuff like that. That's an artist I found on Fiverr.
Okay.
So that was just like a month or two ago.
What if you started getting submissions from Fiverr? You contract the person and you can kind of tell or you suspect that they used AI to help them create, or even if it's not complete AI. What if that happened? Would you feel comfortable paying this person if they're using AI tools? Because if you're reaching out for a human artist,
that's always been a thing. Because even before there was AI, there was like like if you get a logo design, it was a lot of people who would use. There is like Adobe. There's like different things where you get these basic template logos.
Okay.
And a lot of times they were just doing that and then coloring it and shit, or changing something a little bit with Photoshop and selling it to you. So I feel like it's just gonna be more of the same. I think the difference is gonna be just like with those. I'm okay with AI being concept art because it still takes talent to take concept art and elevate it and make it your own style. So when I pick artists, I'm picking artists with a style anyway.
Gotcha.
A very distinct style, unique. And so it don't matter to me if they use AI for concept.
Okay. I like it.
There's lots of talk about artificial intelligence and concerns that it could make many people's jobs obsolete. Well, the CEO of Fiverr, that's a platform that connects freelancers and companies looking to hire them.
What up, Greg? Just got back from the future. AI is used for nothing but corn, but like super weird corn. Oddly specific niche corn.
Let's go.
Sent this email to his employees last month. And as you see there, it says in part, quote, AI is coming for your jobs. Heck, it's coming for my job too. This is a wake-up call. Michal Kaufman is the CEO and joins us now to talk about the future of AI and the workplace. As much traction as this email has received, you've really stirred up the comment section. It's been a popular refrain in the past few years. So give our viewers a bit of a pulse check. How alarmed should people be that AI is already here?
Well, it's absolutely here. And I think the email came at the backdrop of our employees that are wondering if they have a future in their professions. And they weren't really waiting for my email. And if anything, this email was a validation of the things that they feel. And it was all about, talking openly and directly to our team, like grown-ups. They're not kids. They don't need to sugarcoat anything. And
They're not kids. They have a problem with kids, y'all. I know he said they got they're not kids. Like there's a problem with kids.
I don't understand what he meant, but
Kids. We're kids.
go back to what he said. The whole
I was being ignorant. It wasn't.
Oh, I'm about to say what he say
because we have the kid photo up. That's why I was playing off the kid photo.
I was like, wait, what? I'm sorry. I was posting a link.
Nah, he was just saying he was treating his employees like adults by telling them AI is coming for the job. He wasn't trying to coddle them or protect them from the truth.
I mean, it is. Shit.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even have to tell you that.
Like grown-ups, they're not kids. They don't need to sugarcoat anything. And they really needed the validation that their fears are valid, but also a leadership perspective of what they can do about it.
And let's talk more about that. How can someone who believes their job will be made obsolete by AI, how can they differentiate themselves to make themselves useful, I guess, to be able to work with these AI systems?
Here we go.
Yeah. So look, I think that the way I'm looking at this from an executive standpoint is, I think we were given with superpower.
This man here, the CEO?
Yeah, he got no soul.
Probably not.
Can't be a CEO of a company and have a soul anyway, but damn, them some black eyes, bro.
They are dark.
Sorry. He already got no whites. Like, damn.
Still requires energy to do things in the real world. AI is only a threat to your job if the output of your work is displayed on a screen. I like that. I think there are still some threats outside of, because there's like, I guess, intermediary threats. I guess like indirect threats, because there's a lot of middle work, like thought labor that doesn't get put on a screen, but people in the real world utilize. And I think some of those thinking jobs can be doled out, and they don't output necessarily on the screen. They may be like consultants of a sort, because there's a lot of there's a lot of consulting I kind of do with AI that I can get from the screen, but I would have gotten maybe from a person by sitting down with them, talking to them, and they advise me. You can get an advisor capacity stuff as well.
If your job is the only jobs that are really safe right now, I would say, I don't care what anybody says, are jobs where you have to use your hands or human faculties to translate into data. So like that's still always going to be needed, because AI doesn't have hands. It doesn't exist in the real world, like Greg is saying. So like if you touch things and then interpret them and turn it into data on a computer, that's pretty safe. People who work with data that's already been made into data, they're the people who are at risk. So kind of like what Greg is saying, like people who have to assess in real life, you got to touch stuff and then put it into a system, you're probably good.
Superpowers, but this should reflect in how people work. So my expectations are double or triple the output per unit of time, and the same for the quality per unit of delivery. And the reality is that for the double reflect in how people work. So my expectations are double or triple the output per unit of time, and the same for the quality per unit of delivery. And the reality is that since
he said he feels like AI is kind of giving people a superpower, and he wants double or triple the output, at double to triple the quality precision. Now I want to, as somebody who's been doing a lot of prompting and working with AI, I find that deeply troubling. But what does that land on you? And Yella, you have a very limited usage of AI to this point. But think about AI like talking to people on the internet.
Right.
And imagine if your experience of life or like of your employer requires you to talk to the average person on the internet to facilitate you getting your job done, do you think you'd be double or triple as productive? Or so, and then this is task dependent. So this is not for everything that the AI does, but some stuff that the AI does with me is extremely problematic. It's such a fight because it just can't get it. But again, that's not everything.
Yeah.
So, but what do you think, Yella? Like, I'm just trying to frame it in a way that you can kind of analogize it. Sometimes the AI is either obstinate or wants to do its own thing.
Output.
Yeah. Because like a barber, like a barber you go to where they want to give you the cut they want to give you and not what you asked for. It does that sometimes. And then sometimes it just like obtuse. Like it just doesn't get your language. So that could be a prompting error. But those are things I run into. So I'm just trying to analogize it so you can kind of like get that concept of working with AI. So Yella and then Bree, do you think asking for even more efficiency and more effectiveness from people that use AI is a fair ask? I think Yella is eating Gerber. But go ahead, Bree.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think because you got to think, like for instance, my brother was a software engineer, and so he was able to create an app, build an app out in like a fraction of the time that it would have took before AI. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you're using AI in your expertise, you should be able to crank out more in shorter amount of time because it takes away a lot of that concept work, a lot of that work that's always the same thing. It can really take that out of it can really speed that up and remove a lot of time that's needed, just the man hours or labor that's needed to do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's a fair ask. You can build an app now. You can literally go, there are some AI and there's different models too. So you got to think some of those limitations you're having are because you're doing something on a model that maybe is not the best model for that. So
it's front end user made. It's like it's not business grade. Yeah.
But even within like ChatGPT, right? There's like so many models. There's like 11 models. So you could switch models if you need more reasoning or you need this or you need that. You can once again, to the degree in which you understand prompt and models and blah blah blah, it's like you said, it's that thing where you can get, even though everybody has access to it, it's like the degree to which you're going to be able to utilize it is going to be affected by how much you know about it. Yep. But there's like literally an AI model where you can go type in a website you want and it will build out a base website for you. Nice. And it only takes like 2 minutes. Yeah. It's crazy. Like I typed a prompt in and had a skeleton app in like 2 minutes. And that wireframing and prototyping would typically take a month.
Yeah.
So sure.
That's why I want to add in task dependent.
Yeah, when you start talking about stuff like that, you're talking about someone's work. Yeah, I think if they're cool with AI, which they have to get over because they know developers are using it, people are using it. I think it's reasonable to expect higher outcome if they're using AI for that front first level conceptual skeleton stuff. I think that's reasonable, honestly.
Okay. Welcome back, Yella. Did you want to jump in on this? Or? I don't know if you heard the question.
Show didn't. But hit me real quick.
Hey, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, because the CEO was saying he basically expects more output from his workers if they're using AI versus before.
Basically. Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool. I'm with that. If that was the basis of it. Yeah. Then I'm with that. Yep. If you can
reasonable expectation.
Yeah. Okay. You can still get paid the same, but I'm gonna need you to if you're showing that you're more effective with AI, that doesn't mean not gonna need somebody who's gonna do it by hand. But that means if the AI guy is gonna be quicker, then I'm gonna expect more out of that.
Okay. I'm gonna try to remember my points and argue back on the 2 points. Shout out to Von Eric. What's up, Von Eric? Good to see you. There are 2 reasons I have a problem with this, because we've seen this happen before with tech shifts, and the less do more with less model. Do more with less model is the trickle down of employment theory. But the other thing I want to say is I don't want to call it the slippery slope, where an idea gets introduced and it gets mainstream without the understanding of what the concept really entails, like the implications of it. So with him saying this, I'm with Bree. What Bree's saying is on point. The standardization, the mechanization, the repetition, the tedium, all those little things, perfect for AI. But when this goes out to other people and they are not building the infrastructure or giving people specified and tailored AI for their task and just telling people, hey, well, you got Chat GPT out there, just go and get this thing done. Not understanding that that's not for every task going to make them more efficient. Because for creative tasks, where I'm trying to conceptualize something, I have found that the AI is really difficult at linking independent concepts and bridging them together. I typically have to handhold it through that process and babysit it because it'll lose the framing. So with like high level, like I said, conceptual work, it can't hold all, it can't juggle all the balls sometimes. And again, like Marie said, I've tried different models. Some were worse than others, and even different brands. I've tried different brands, and oh my god, which ones did I try yesterday? DeepSeek, Deep Fake, Deep something, Deep whatever. It was Yella, no, whatever that thought was, no. The Deep, I want to say DeepSeek. It was bad at what I was doing. So I had to go back to ChatGPT, but I wanted to try DeepSeek because ChatGPT was struggling. But I ended up getting handled. But that's kind of what I mean. When that goes mainstream, and it's like, and I'll analogize it to what we do now. Somebody will tell somebody to go Google something and not understand how difficult Googling something can be if it's not very mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean with that. As far as like mainstreaming the concept that everybody won't understand the implications of it.
Yeah.
But the other argument I had was, I'm trying to remember. I knew there was two of them. What was the first thing I said? I said it real quick and then moved on.
You were saying, no, you kind of had started going into
like capitalism.
Capitalism.
The capitalism. So the one is the mainstreaming idea, but the other part is the capitalism component. Doing more with less. So yes, you should become more productive. And this is a personal worry. This is my anti-capitalism concern.
Oh yeah, okay.
You give people a method to increase their production, and the employer or the capitalist grabs that value, which is why wages have been stagnant for 30 years. They'll say, hey, you're not doing as much work. I shouldn't have to pay you as much.
Right.
But then you're also outputting 2, 3, 4 times as much as you would have. And they'll give you fractions on the dollar, less than even what you're currently, like whatever you negotiated to work for. Because you're getting an increase, you're creating more. Let's say we'll give you a small bonus. You're creating 4 times more. We'll give you an extra 20 cents on the first dollar, and the rest is us. They won't negotiate it like that, but that's end up what's happening because that's how we ended up with wage stagnation for 30 to 40 years. And it's like, that's what I'm worried about here. It's like the gig economy. It's a very similar concept. They have this thing. People are doing more, getting less back return, and it just creates more dependency on the system because it's not. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's how we're gonna slide into universal basic income because most people aren't exceptional. Like this is that. Like most people, the people who can, a lot of the difference between good AI usage or not is jargon. So people who are experts in their field are still gonna be okay because they're gonna know what they need to say exactly how they need to say it. Like that was always the difference between an expert and not, or being in the industry or not. That's always been like the biggest difference. Do you know the jargon? And if you know the jargon, that enables you to communicate it to a certain level that you wouldn't if you don't. And so it's going to be the same with AI. Like if for me, I don't know software and I don't know back end development. I can't go into any AI. I don't care. I can try to say it, but I can't. You watch somebody like Spitfire go and use AI to build a site. It's a different. Like, what the fuck did you just do? This man had 2 AI bots talking to each other, coding an app at the same time. He was like, I put this in this bot, and it crank it out, and then I look over it real quick and send it to this other bot. Like the people who know their shit are okay. Yeah. And that's why I think it's that slide you're talking about is what I'm saying. Like the exceptional are going to be the only ones who really can survive in this AI thing. Because like you said, they're expecting more for less. So they're only going to want to pay the exceptional people because they can crank out all the stuff accurately, high quality. The average person who is barely hanging on is going to be out of a job. They gone. They out of here.
Yeah. So here's what I would say, Greg, and I get your thinking on this. I think far more people were displaced by the invention of the car or mechanical tractors than AI will displace.
Oh no, 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 no.
Now, here's what I'm thinking, and there's a logic to it, but I can't prove that it's true. So each successive generation or iteration of development, I would say, on a superficial level, feels like it would displace fewer people. But what I think is the level of efficiency, the capacity, like she's talking about for Spitfire. For Spitfire, this graduation in technology, I'm gonna say, hold up real quick. I'm trying to frame this because I haven't had to frame this thought before. I haven't really had a deep discussion on AI.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, like, Google really helped displace a lot of people who used to have to go to reference material, go to librarians for help. Google and the internet, the search engine, really stopped a lot of people from having to make that trek to the library like they used to put their hands on a physical book.
Right.
Libraries didn't stop, they didn't die, but they did lose a lot of traffic due to Google and search engines.
Yep.
Now, this next leap takes somebody. So my job is trying to put together an essay.
Right.
I may save a day's worth of, like, let's say 8 hours. I may save 8 hours of going back and forth to the library because I can get everything researched in my home, no travel invested, and I can compile the information pretty much copy paste it to the word processor. There's no printing. There's a lot of steps that I say, maybe let's say 8 hours. I'm just making that arbitrary number up. But now, like she's talking about with Spitfire, people who are doing something like I'm trying to code an app, like she said, it would have taken a month. I can, using these AI tools, replace several people. I can replace the artist. I can replace a coder.
Front end developers are out.
Yeah, I can replace. I can replace 4 to 5 different people. So instead of just replacing like one person, I can replace 5 people. Or if I can replace if there was a function that used to be able to replace 5 people, like a word processing person, somebody that did data processing, maybe now they can replace 10, 20.
The workforce is definitely you can see a lot of developers are losing their job.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, Rashawn is saying, oh, the displacement from this is crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a lot of people who are out of a job. Yeah. Like a lot of freelance people, a lot of people who, like Rashawn is saying, like if we stay in development, a lot of front end developers done.
Yeah.
AI can do almost all front end development. All you need is a back end coder. That's like that used to be a job that maybe you had a UI UX designer, a front end developer. That's like 2 or 3 people. You don't even need anymore. Yeah.
So, what percentage of the population do you think are at risk of losing their job from AI? I can't even begin to answer that question.
Yeah, it's too many.
I can't even. Yeah, it's
and it's going to be industry dependent too.
Yeah, like I said, it's task dependent. It's industry dependent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking about in the domains that this tech touches, it will be disruptive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not trying to extrapolate this across the entire population. We already talked about the hands-on tasks versus the mental tasks, so we've handled that. This isn't going to push a needle in anybody's arm at a healthcare site. This isn't going to. This isn't going to perform any high risk search. This isn't going to do that. So,
but a lot of the jobs it displaces are ones you would never know about.
Yeah,
like the jobs that this is going to displace aren't the people you see when you walk in a store that touch you and touch the things, right? So I think it's easy to believe this won't displace as many people, but this is going to replace the administrative people in the back.
Yeah,
the people
like a merchandise, the person who's making the selection for this season.
Exactly, the merchandiser at Walmart gone.
Yeah, what should go where in the store? You probably won't need that person anymore.
The inventory person gone.
How much of this do we need at any time? Don't need that person.
All them jobs about to be gone. So you may not notice. You still gonna see the people stocking the shelves and running the cash registers until they figure that out. Because shit, you talking about them Amazon stores in Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the future. You walk in and grab your stuff, the camera, somebody somewhere looking at it, charging you, you just walk out. Like, that's soon enough. That's gonna be like that. But I think I agree with Rashawn here. Like a lot of the jobs that are displaced from AI, you have never seen those people. You probably don't even know what those jobs are. The average person don't even know what kind of jobs they do.
I mean, because look
Yeah.
look at what we've lost already. How many people did we lose by shifting to the call bots? You call the phone number and it's thank you for
Oh my
calling.
God.
How many people lost jobs because of that? You know what I'm saying? But once you can use AI to chat with people, which we're already doing, then you lose the agent because you went through the call bot to get to a person. Now you won't even need the person. It'll be going through the call bot to get to a call bot, or you just have the first
To a better
AI.
bot.
Yeah. So like, go ahead. Yeah, you want to say something?
No, I was gonna say it. Y'all are right there with it. It's gonna be them. It's gonna be them people who are in the middle of stuff. Like in those merchandisers, it seems like they're important, but they're not because you actually can put that stuff on order.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You already have, especially like at like the last place I worked at, we had almost like a automatic reorder service. But that's because we kept track of what was in the store. So if anything went out, we had to make sure we kept track of it so it can get ordered. You know, so I kind of feel like that's a good thing. Because it some places, that's the unfortunate part of business is that you do want it done as efficiently by the least amount of people. If you could do it all by yourself, most people would. Like if most people running a business could do everything by themselves, they would. Because that's the best way to save money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, to somebody to just order the stuff for the next door, yeah, I can see them getting weeded out. But the thing is that I think the most people that's worried about it are the people that's probably never going to be affected by it. Like the average standard person who's not in upper management, who's not working in the logistics of these businesses, who's not working in like those higher, they're not going to be affected really. The grunt worker, like the regular worker, is not going to be affected by it. You know what I'm saying? Because they still have to have the human touch on a lot of stuff, even AI. Because you still got to double check the AI. Even if you replace like a merchandiser with AI, you'll still have to have somebody manage that. You still have to have somebody make sure the program is working efficiently. It's not over ordering. You know what I'm saying? So it's replacing one person's job, but it's actually opening up another job.
And
I think higher level management is gonna be the only ones that survive. Like what you're talking about, I don't think it creates a new job. I think that's just like higher management, what they already do.
Right. That's why I say somewhere in the middle, like up high, them people not gonna be affected. The people at the lower level, they're not gonna be affected because you actually need hands to do some of those jobs. I'm talking about the people in the middle.
Yeah, but I don't think it creates a new job. I think that work that you're talking about it just be what upper management already kind of does.
I mean that too.
They just look over it. They just look over
right,
and say, "Okay, this is fine." So they I don't think it's gonna open new jobs as much.
Right. Now you right at that because they already got somebody who double checks the merchandiser.
Right.
So that person will just learn how to do that. Yeah, you can. It's easy to just put them over there and make sure that's doing that. Now you right.
Yeah. So I hear what you're saying, Yella, and I agree, and I do agree with that caveat that Bree put in. Like the job would just get pushed onto somebody else that's already employed. They're not going to hire somebody else different to do this task. It's just going to fall to somebody that already has an adjacent job. You already work with the tech, the IT person. You oversee the AI, or you're in management. You manage the AI, but this middle person, you can go now. And to Greg's question, you get what we're saying, but if we're talking about displacement, are we not talking about how much? You can actually talk about the phenomena without extrapolating out how far-reaching the phenomena will be. So we could talk about COVID, what it is, what kind of virus it is, how it impacts the lungs. We don't have to talk about how many people are going to die from it. Like you don't have to take the conversation.
You can't know that anyway.
Right. Yeah. You can postulate, you can guess, you can forecast based on. I mean, you can have multiple lanes of a conversation, but you can actually talk about the thing without talking about everything that the thing touches.
Yeah. And it's too specific. Once again, you have to narrow it down. Like people who have almost completely hand jobs, like probably won't be affected at all. But you go into an industry with tech, you're gonna probably have a higher percentage.
Yeah.
So then even to say to average that out across everybody, it's still like super complicated. Because it may be 60% in devs, but then it's like 0% for like people who make floral arrangements and shit. Like, you know.
But here's what I will say: people are so short-sighted that the societal changes that happen will become normalized within 10 years and will just be assumed as a normal part of life. So when I say disruptive, I'm not saying like catastrophic, the world's going to end, America's going to collapse. What I'm saying is there's a change that's emerging, and eventually it's going to be like Google. When Google first came out, it was new. People didn't understand it. People didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. Now it's normal. Everybody Googles. It became a verb. I'm saying this is going to be like another Google, where it's going to be incorporated into our life invisibly at some point. But in the middle point, there's going to be an uncomfortable change that happens. And that change is going to affect a lot of people. Man, the short-sightedness that I was speaking of, is we are now currently living through the effects of previous industrial and technological changes. And we can't like the wage gap was part of the technological that I spoke to a little bit. The wage gap, not the wage gap, the wage suppression, the 40-year, what am I trying? It's not wasn't wage suppression. What's the word?
Stagnation.
Wage stagnation, yes, was thanks to the technologization, the computerization that helped them bring in the wage stagflation because they can suppress people. Well, you have all these tools now. You don't have to do this yourself. You get to use this machine. You get to press buttons with pictures on them. I shouldn't have to pay you so much. Yes, that sounds great on its surface, but we also see the effects of that. Now, how many people it's going to affect? This is where you get trickle down. It's going to affect so many people. Whatever that number is, I can't say. Those people, like you said, Greg, are going to have to go get other jobs. There are people doing those other jobs. So now you have new people that have to go find other jobs that are already being filled. They're not going to create more jobs. They're going to have to find jobs that are already filled. So now you have more competition at a lower level. Now, when those people get displaced on that lower level, now they have to go find something to do because they got displaced from the people that got displaced by AI. So then they have to go down to a lower level and displace people who are already currently filling some other industry. Then eventually you get down to retail and fast food where they're displacing teenagers that no longer can get these jobs because they're hiring felons or older people or people that are barely cognitive because now they're working at Wendy's and Burger King and like so that's the trend. And then eventually you get down to a point where nobody wants to do the housekeeping. Let's get some migrants. Nobody wants to do the farming. Let's get some migrants. People aren't going to go down to that level. We see that because now they want to fill those roles with migrants who are cheaper, but also willing to do the labor.
Now they trying to do kids
and the pay. Yeah, or now they're trying to
do kids because they kicking out the migrants.
Yeah, so that's what I'm speaking to. That's the phenomenon where it displaces, and those people go displace other people, and it turns into a wave. Now we'll adapt. Things will look different, and we'll sit around complaining about how bad society is. And nobody will see like, well, it's tied to this thing that they did back in the mid 2020s when AI became a part of everybody's life. Yeah, domino effect. Thank you. That's the word I should have been looking for. Yeah, but
this happened when the internet popped up too. Yeah. I mean, so it's gonna be. But I think, people have said for years ago that unskilled laborers were the most at risk. Unskilled laborers are the most at risk with this AI boom for sure. Even though it happens in a lot of the middle areas, like Yella was saying, that whole phenomenon you talked about is why the unskilled laborers are at risk.
Yeah, and I say even to a point, like I said, the unskilled labor, as far as like farming, the stuff that we use a lot of migrants for, I don't think those are going to be touched. Like I don't think.
Well, it's going to be the effect that, like you said, it's not like they're going to go away, but as those people in the middle get displaced, they displace the lower levels under them.
That's why I said to a point I was trying to specify because Americans now will not go past a certain level. We'll live on the street before we become typically like housekeepers and farmers. Because there's a level that the average American, that our minds will not allow us to do anymore. We won't do it.
Yeah. I think if they pay, because a lot of those jobs are paying nothing.
Right.
But also in a lot of these industries, you got to think they just cut out a whole middle section. So while they won't pay you exceptionally, they are going to pay more. Like even with some farm workers, you see some of these companies paying more for the same work migrants been doing for pennies because they know now they need Americans because we don't have the migrants to work. So they are paying higher now than they were.
That's good.
It was just Americans weren't willing to do it at the rate they were paying. So they just hire whoever would take the pay. But if they displace the whole middle section, now you don't have to pay nobody in that section. I think it's still going to eventually affect the lower workers. Even if they start paying more, they're going to want people with more skills, even if it's not relevant to the job. They're like, oh, we're paying $12 an hour now to pick strawberries versus $7. So now we want somebody who blah, 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 blah. And they're going to try to find some stupid reason they need somebody with experience irrelevant to the job to justify paying $12 an hour.
And a lot of that I agree with you. That's the phenomenon that people do. That's why they want like a bachelor's degree for entry level jobs and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's all that is. Somebody got displaced, so now we got to make the lower level scene higher.
Which is weird. It's kind of like the in a dating space, the default setting. Like, oh, I dated somebody that did this. Now I can't deal with nobody. That's my standard now.
Right.
So I had an employee that had a bachelor's degree, even though they was just first coming in the door. Yeah. So now anybody coming in the door need to have a bachelor's degree. I ain't
exactly. Well, I need a bachelor's degree to scan fucking groceries because the whole middle management got displaced. That's
Where's the nigga with the bachelor's degree? Why he ain't still here? If he came through the door, where he at?
Yeah, eventually that's what's gonna happen though, because it's people with degrees who work in shitty, unskilled labor jobs. Yeah, like there's people with degrees working unskilled labor jobs, which just means you're not working in any particular area of expertise, or it's not something that you have to have a degree or a license to do. Like that's all unskilled labor is. So those people who are getting displaced, they're gonna go to those jobs.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. He said, "What up, bro? What up, bro? Man, your labor jobs are increasing in weight. That's good. I think we're just seeing a restructuring, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to be another restructuring, and for a lot of people, it'll be uncomfortable. For a lot of people, they'll benefit. Like it's one of those things. Everything has pros and cons. It's a trade-off. A lot of people are going to have the best time of their life with this tech. Like Spitfire can have 2 bots going back and forth and coding things. He probably would have had to hire 2 or 3 people before. Have somebody
that was his job.
Yeah.
Right.
He had to do the job of like 3 people.
Yeah. So like for some people, this will be like the best thing. Like I said, for me creatively, it has free. I'll be up 4, 5, 6 hours overnight just doing stuff. Some stuff never be seen or heard ever. Yeah. Some stuff, it feels amazing for me. So for some people, it'll be the most liberating, freeing thing. I will even say the whole gig economy, for some people, it's terrible. It's caught them like in a wage trap where they don't have benefits anymore, and they're just getting just enough money to live by. So they're living in a trap. But for me, what it provides for me, I'm the richest poor person. I have peasants that deliver me things and grab things for me. I don't have to do much of anything. I have peasants all over the place. It's the most amazing thing. I don't need to know their names. I don't have to remember their birth dates. I don't have to know who their families are. I don't have to house them. But I have
you ain't gotta do nothing.
Things. And they do it for free and with a smile. It's the most amazing thing ever.
But a lot of people would also love universal basic income. Like a lot of people who struggle to get these shitty jobs that don't hardly pay anything anyway would love if they went to a universal basic income. If people who had those jobs couldn't get jobs and they had to just give, like in the pandemic when people were getting money because they weren't we kind of test ran it in the pandemic. People who didn't have what were they calling the jobs? Like the people who had to go to work, whatever. Essential workers.
Yeah, essential workers.
Basically we test ran that whole idea. Like essential workers are jobs that have expertise that can't be blah blah blah, and everybody else who couldn't work because their jobs were not essential, they got a basic income. Like that's probably what we're gonna end up doing.
Shout out to the essential workers, baby.
Yeah, because my essential working ass, I still was collecting that check though, because I was in another state. I was like, bitch, I'm not working in Georgia. Cut my check right now. I'm essentially working and getting this check.
Yeah, what up,
Quantum? But yeah, we test ran that. I think that's basically what's gonna end up happening.
Yeah, and you cool, Greg? Listen, I don't ever want to fear monger, but I try to couch stuff in reality. I know one thing's for certain. Until there's an actual collapse and doom actually happens, which nobody actually knows when that's going to happen or if it'll happen, until that moment, I'm going to assume that we're going to adapt.
Yeah, we'll
Because
adapt.
no matter how
We
ugly
always
it
do.
looks, no matter how bad it looks, even if like the soup lines and the Great Depression,
Mhm.
we'll figure out a way.
Mhm.
We'll figure out a way.
We be adapting. But
And that
I'm sorry. I
thing.
know we. Oh, keep going. Go ahead.
No, go.
No, finish your thought because I'm about to ask. I'm about to move it.
Okay, I was gonna say, and that thing that everybody's worried about, tech's not gonna do it. AI is not gonna do it. The humans are gonna do it.
Exactly.
Just to put it
We
out there.
don't
The
have to
humans
do.
are
We
gonna
don't have to. If we value humanity and human
yeah,
jobs, we would not
yeah,
let AI displace people. But
yeah.
capitalism, corporate greed,
Mhm,
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
yeah,
It don't have to happen,
yeah,
but we know it's
yeah.
what's gonna happen.
And real
yeah.
quick, my last thought on I know Bree wants to move it. If
Mhm,
the capitalists realize that nobody can afford their goods anymore, things are going to change. So if they
Yeah.
displace so many people that nobody can work enough, that nobody can afford to buy the stuff, everything's going to switch anyway. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah.
mhm.
No, I was just gonna move. I didn't know if there was something else in this video you wanted to play because I was gonna say let's move it along into the downside, one of the more outside of corporate downsides. I want to make sure we touch on the mental downsides.
The interpretive tongue thing.
Yeah, because this is something that I see, and we got to get into the mental side because
All right, we cool. It's cool. And
I
I
didn't
got
know.
one
Absolutely.
other video. We'll play this. We'll play this one, and then I got one other video I want to get to that's about the kids.
Okay.
All right, so let's
That's
swap to
cold.
this.
Oh, this is. Oh God. Yeah.
Make sure the volume's up. All right, cool. All right, so now this is what I'm worried about with my blacks. I
Black
feel
people
like
come
a
to the
lot of
front.
us will avoid AI because of superstition, because of religiosity, churchiness, that we'll think there's spirits in the machine. I feel like we'll avoid AI and even like marginal lifestyle improvements.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
forget commerce, forget education. There are marginal lifestyle improvements that you can get from AI as well. I'm not going to go into those right now, but I
right.
fear we'll avoid AI because of that, and we'll do stuff like this.
Yeah, which is also the other side, or yeet ourselves completely into it. Just full yeet, like too far. We will go. We will either avoid it or go too far with how we use it. We're gonna just use it wrong. That's what I'm gonna say. We're gonna use it wrong. And we're gonna do shit like this and throw ourselves into fucking psychosis. That's what we gonna do. So just go ahead.
My mind has been blown, y'all.
I can barely hear, but I got it up as much as I got
Okay,
can.
listen. Now we use Chat GPT for everything. So I thought I'd try this. I was like, yeah, we'll see. I recorded myself praying in tongues, audio recording. And then I uploaded it to Chat GPT and asked Chat to interpret it. And at first I was like, yeah, whatever. Chat specifically asked me, what was this? Um, this was this a prayer? Was this? I didn't even read everything. When I think I saw prayer, and I was like, yeah, it's a prayer. And because Chat said, I want to know how to go about interpreting this. So I uploaded the audio, and Chat interpreted it. As I was reading it, first I was just like, yeah, you're just gonna say something. But it was very, very specific. It was definitely interpreting what was on my heart in the prayer, and nobody could have known that. Y'all, try it. My mind is blown. Like, I know we're using Chat GPT for everything. My mind is blown. I'm like, I wish I had done that sooner because I had been praying for a while. And then when I stopped, I was just like, I wonder what that was all about. And I went back and I recorded and I just started praying again. So I don't know what I missed, but try it. Just try it.
Okay,
All right.
that
Bruh.
was unexpected. So
Uh huh.
see,
Yeah.
praying in tongues, Chat
Uh huh.
GPT, and what bothers me What bothers me is that she didn't share the interpretation.
She didn't have one.
She might have.
That's the thing. She talking about she
She got a
prayed. She said
response.
what was that all about? To her own prayer she had just did. And then she started praying again and recorded herself this time to ask ChatGPT what she was saying.
Right. And it gave her a response. I'm just saying the fact that she didn't even give us the response to let us know how valid it sounded, because she said it got a response. She could be in psychosis. ChatGPT could have said, "Ma'am, do you need help?"
ChatGPT gonna say, which is not what ChatGPT is gonna say, right? Especially not that
She said,
model that they running right now. It is not gonna say that. What you say, Yella?
She said, no, she said that it did kind of it kind of was saying what she said. It kind of was saying, how did she put it?
Yes, she said it
was close
feels
to
like
what was on
this
her
is a
heart.
feeling on her heart. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it felt like it was. It felt like the interpretation was close to what was on her heart. And I'm just sitting here like this. So, are you admitting that you just be speaking gibberish when y'all be speaking tongues? Because
because she don't know what she said.
Okay, hold up.
Exactly.
There's no interpret.
Right.
There's no language because you didn't even say this is this tongue. This is like, oh, it's just a prayer. Tell me what I was saying.
That's what you were saying.
And
you
then ChatGPT being a language model is like, okay, you're praying. So like people don't understand. Like she's probably been talking to ChatGPT. ChatGPT saves certain things about your persona. It creates a persona for you the more you use it. Hold on.
I know the first thing she asked.
So yeah, but then it's also if you're like praying and speaking in tongues, then it knows you're Christian. Okay, what does the average Christian pray about? You don't understand how a language model couldn't take an educated guess about what you was praying about,
right?
And keep it vague using biblical prose,
right?
Like, what do you mean?
Because nobody but her knows what tongues is, so it definitely wouldn't be on the internet, and it definitely wouldn't be available to an internet bot.
Yeah, because if a Christian came and said they were speaking in tongues and they were praying fervently and working themselves into a frenzy, I'm just going to assume you want deliverance from probably stress, suffering. You're probably overwhelmed. You probably want a breakthrough. You probably feel like you're tired of waiting. And if you're patient a little longer, he'll answer. Like, you can just guess.
Right.
What a Christian would work themselves into a frenzy enough to speak in tongues about.
And you basic bitches praying for the same shit anyway, right? So of course it would be accurate. But y'all praying for the same
shit. Right. It's a language model that archetypes people. It puts you into categories and figures out what you more likely would want or would say. It's the same way ChatGPT can probably make a style guide for you based off what you say. It's a language model. That's all it does.
I'm finna have to ChatGPT real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, we about to.
Have you seen the people falling in love with their ChatGPT? It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Hello, we about to test this live.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh. You better speak in babble.
Microphone on. Hello. Try this again. Tell me what my prayer says.
Your prayer draws a powerful parallel between Jesus' fasting and the experience of.
Why are you talking without? Stop. Listen.
Got it. I'm listening.
Fire's on you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm here.
You got it.
Okay, what did my prayer say? What was I saying when I spoke in tongues?
When you were praying in tongues, the exact meaning isn't something I can interpret directly. Speaking in tongues is often understood as a deeply personal and spiritual form of communication.
Not your bot trained to be intelligent.
You can reflect on the emotions or thoughts you had during the prayer, as those might give you insight into its meaning.
I want to see what she put in, because I don't think she put that she was speaking in tongues. I think she just uploaded a sound and said, interpret this. I don't think she would have said what I'm speaking in tongues, because Chat GPT would know that can't be interpreted. So the fact that her bot asked her, what is this? Is this a prayer? What is this? She said it's a prayer. That tells me she just put the sound in and she said, interpret this.
Okay. All right.
Because if you lead it, if you
Let's do
say
that.
speaking in tongues, I don't know if it will try to interpret it, because you can't.
Got you. Give me a second.
I'm mad, buddy. On the video, sounded like dude from that one song. Hey,
Mama say, Mama
say yeah. I think it sounded like Diggable Planet. What's not
and I
Diggable
also
Planet?
am annoyed because I wish you would have just said the interpretation or something, or showed us how she can, like, just try it. Okay, can you show us what you did? Because she said she uploaded a recording.
You said she uploaded, but it can't read an MP3. So I'm wondering what kind of recording she.
That's what I'm saying.
Uploaded.
There's so many questions about what she did, because I'm like, how did you upload a recording into Chat GPT?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try this one more time, but I'm just gonna
well, you can add a file.
I'm not gonna say it's a prayer, but you can't add an audio file. You can't add an MP3.
Okay, yeah, just say interpret this.
Okay, hold on. Hey, can you hear me? Where's it? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right, I need you to interpret this. It's not a prayer in tongues. Just interpret the sound.
There you go. You got it.
It's a language.
Fires on you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, just shut up. You're not helping me.
There you go. You got it.
All right.
Your Chat GPT be tussling. What y'all got going on over there?
Man, we be fine. Hey, listen.
Because your Chat GPT was like talking. You was like, you supposed to be listening right now. She like, oh. What you and Chat GPT got going on?
We've been butting heads lately because like my Chat GPT like flat out lies to me, y'all. Like it flat out lies. So I be testing it. Like, you know how you got to do in a bad relationship when you in a toxic relationship, you start like testing it. So I'm doing some stuff for this wrestling show, right? And it's like my character is El Gordo. So I came up with a gimmick called, like, you know, NordVPN, all the ads, NordVPN. So I was like, Gord VPN. And I was trying to come up with something for an acronym for the VPN. And we were struggling. And I was like, you know what? This thing is sabotaging me. So I was like, you know what? A good acronym would be Really Impressive Wrestler, which is totally not VPN. It's RIW. It was like, that's great. That fits everything. I was like, what is an acronym? And it told me what an acronym is. And I was like, does Really Impressive Wrestler, is that a good acronym for the VPN? I was like, no, that's a good call out. Great for you're asking for. I'm like, you're stupid.
Which model are you typically
This one's
using?
on 4.0. This is great for most tasks.
Don't use 4.0. 4.0's bugged.
I tried to use 4.5, but it always runs into the limit because you only get so many 4.5.
Use 3.
Oh, 3? Advanced reasoning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use that one. The 4 model is broken. It's over complimentary and it glazes too much. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Use 3. Yeah.
I thought 3 was the one before 4, so I didn't want to go backwards.
But this update is not great.
Oh my god.
The latest model is not good. So don't use the mini either.
Gotcha.
And then you also can go in Chat GPT and tell it that, like, I have in my instructions for my persona on Chat GPT that I want to be challenged. Don't agree with me. Don't compliment me.
Yes, I had to do that too. Because it was getting annoying.
Yeah,
I had to shut it down. I was like, don't give me anything other than like the data I asked you for, because it was just doing all this all profusive. This is the most amazing. I'm like, man, just shut up. Oh,
don't use that model. Yeah, don't use the 4. It's trash. They trying to fix it.
Okay, good. Because it was annoying. Then I went over to DeepSeek and it was doing the exact same thing, like the same language. I was like, it feels like I'm just in Chat GPT. Like, did y'all just copy paste?
Yeah, because the 4 is the latest model, also similar to DeepSeek. They're kind of the same. Yep. Okay. There you go. Right. And that's that. But that goes to show, like, AI, like, there's a lot to it, right?
Yeah, there is.
A simple interface doesn't mean that it's simple.
Yeah.
You go on there, it's the bar. You just type whatever prompts, how you say stuff, how you lead, don't lead, all that stuff matters to how you I think one of our favorite activities is put the same prompt into our chat GPTs and see, how our responses are
Different
catered
responses.
to us. Yeah.
Because me, you and Nova get totally different stuff.
Exactly.
But I've used all the 4s, and I'm glad you said the 3. That's the only one I wouldn't use. I thought it was a step backwards. That's the only one.
And it has the
none of them
best
are working for me.
reasoning.
Really?
Yeah, it has the best advanced deductive. They all have different reasoning.
Now, what about for writing? Because the writing, everything in the 4 side, it can't do any creative writing in the 4 series.
No, it's like you can have. Okay, so it tells you there's all kind. 4.5 says it's good for writing.
I tried
was just
that.
basing off what it is. It's not good for writing. And
or I would say, let me rephrase that. The outputs that come out of the Chat GPT in the 4 series,
right,
don't feel up to my standard
right.
of what I feel like I can do. It's like if I put that out, everybody be like, I could have got that anywhere.
Do you tell it what writing style to use?
Now that I do not do. Like, as far as like, what do you mean by writing style? I do take like what type of like language to use, what type of tone, like that kind of stuff. But like, what do you mean by writing style? Specific
so when
school of thought. I don't have schools of thought.
Yeah, so when me and Twan were playing out Stack and Mary meeting Lestat and Louis or something like that, first we just put the prompt in, it spits out some, a scenario or whatever.
Right.
But then I changed it because I wanted it to read like a novel. So I say, write me the scene, this setting with them meeting. I want it in a narrative style with dialogue, or you can do script style, or you can do blah blah blah. And
okay, now not narrative, but I've used like scripting, I've used outline, I've used like story, I've used essay. So I've done that kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's what I have to say. Use narrative language, narrate it. Don't set the scene. Like
I'll describe the language like more flowery language, more poetic, more descriptive. I'll do stuff like that. So like my prompting includes that kind of descriptors, but
I get good writing if I tell it to write it in a novel narrative style.
Yeah, I will say some of it's
first or like in third person or first person. If I tell it exactly how to write it, then I'll get kind of more what I want.
Okay, so let me restate my phrase. For the style of writing that I'm looking for, it has not put out the best, but it can write well. So for anybody listening, it can write well. It just, for what I've been into, which is more, I guess, emotional or provoking stuff.
It's not gonna be.
That's what conceptual and emotion, it just can't grasp that yet, or won't ever. I just assumed it because it was plagiarizing or pulling from other people's work that it could like synthesize the way it does music.
Yeah, you would have to give it a specific person to pull from. Like you would have to say write in this person's style, and then it could probably do it.
Yeah, got you. Erotic fanfics. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Let's go. Okay.
What's Yella over here doing?
I'm gonna share something with y'all real quick.
I also have a fascination with. I just would love to be a fly on the wall. I want to know how men prompt AI, untrained men, like people who don't work with it. I just want to see how they prompt AI, and if they're generally satisfied with the responses they get. And I want to see how women prompt AI, and if they're satisfied with the responses they get. I think it would be interesting to see the difference.
I want to see that too.
Okay. So just me having that idea of something, right? Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit. Okay. So Bria said something, and I don't know if she meant style as in fashion or whatever, but I just decided it was like, you know what? Let me see how well ChatGPT knows me.
Said based on my previous prompts. Did you say give me a style guide like fashion?
These are all my previous prompts. Create a fashion profile based on those prompts. That's all I'm saying. I basically copied all my because I don't talk much, so this is basically all of the prompts.
To Bree's point, how the man that's untrained on prompting creates a prompt. So here we go. That was a perfect example. You asked for it, Bree, you got it. Okay.
I did.
Oh, properly requesting oral sex. That's interesting.
I would love to understand. I'm glad. You know what? We love a consenting kid.
We did that on stream. Y'all remember that?
I think we did.
I did that one on stream.
Why
I
women
do
feet
remember
small?
Yeah.
Oh, feel small, not feet small. Feel small. Okay. Why women feel small?
Most of these I've done on stream.
So what did it say? Yeah, that's the only time you really use AI unless you're doing like, Okay. So what did it say?
All right. So
And
this
the
is the
answer is yes,
fashion
sir.
profile that's got for me. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your previous prompts. While they are directly related to fashion, they reveal a lot about personality, interest, and vibe, which can absolutely translate into distinct fashion. Your fashion profile, the bold visionary.
Oh, Seth
Oh,
Rollins.
God.
I am a
The visionary.
visionary.
Part streetwear savant, part pop culture and philosopher. Okay, let's go.
Right.
Let's see what they say.
Okay.
Let's go.
Wardrobe staples.
Oh, of course.
Graphic tees. With
Graphic
a twist.
tee with a
Statement jacket.
twist.
Yep.
Statement
Yep.
jackets, wide leg or
Yep.
tech wear
That's
inspired
you.
pants,
Yep.
layered street luxury fits, mixed fear of God like silhouettes, supreme chaos, those type
Yeah.
of shit. Okay.
That's you. That's you.
Yeah.
Ask it to generate an image of what this will look like.
Yeah, generate an outfit. Yeah, after you finish. Oh,
Footwear
sneakers.
game, bold sneakers, Yeezys, Jordans,
Okay.
a New Balance collab. So the Jordans is right.
Mhm.
Not the
You want
Chelsea
something that
boots.
says, I know what's hot, but I'm not trying too hard. Chelsea or military boots, add edge. Right. But see, that's me saying I wanted a WWE show on Alcatraz. So they see.
Yeah. See. I see you in the military boots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
Accessories. Retro sunglasses. I've definitely gotten into the sunglasses in the last year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Slim fit and futuristic shades. The
You wear tactical
the
vests.
Metro Mans.
Yep.
Yeah.
He wears tactical
Yeah.
vests.
Yeah, he definitely wears tactical vests.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wears tactical vests to the shower to carry all his like soaps and stuff.
Dude, if I if I could wear
a
a utility
terry
belt,
cloth tactical shower
A te-
vest. Hold on,
That
I might
would
need
be
that for my
crazy.
facial care. But I need that for my face products. I need like a
That would be
vest
crazy.
for all of my face stuff. Like, oh my
Like a
God.
holster.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
holster. Like I need just like a tactical vest for all of my
That's
skincare.
crazy.
It could be like a
Wow.
utility belt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cute.
That's crazy.
All right.
Okay.
Color palette. This is what got me. Black, charcoal, olive, and white.
That was you at the show.
Olive is so
That was you at the
specific.
show. It is. That's exactly what he was wearing at the show.
Yeah, that
olive
is.
green. That
Yeah, I
olive
know.
dark
That's-
forest green. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Come on.
so specific.
Electric blue, neon green, burnt orange.
That's funny.
Come on, blue and
That's
burnt
crazy.
orange. They know me. Let's go.
Uh-huh.
That's okay. Okay.
Prince.
Not an Illuminati shirt.
Abstract graphics, subtle conspiracy images, and retro wrestling motif.
Wow. Okay.
You're creative, probably working in media, content creation, or entrepreneurial space. Your wardrobe needs to take you from podcast studio to pop up to protest, comfortably and style.
Yeah, they say he like to tussle. You like to argue.
I mean,
You need to pull up
I
on
make-
somebody's
I will
Capitol
his-
building.
I need to be a lobbyist.
Yeah, they like you need to pull up on somebody's Capitol with a sign. All this energy. That's what they saying.
Yep.
Just like
Honestly,
your
burnt orange.
ideas. Yep. Yeah, that's basically it. Would you like to
Okay,
create a
that's
sample
good.
outfit grid? Oh, okay. It's asking me that. Would you
Yeah.
like me to create a sample outfit grid based on?
You probably want to
y'all
look
want me to
book.
do an image or a grid?
You want to look
Yeah,
book.
generate.
Just
an
do it.
image
Do
would
it.
be
Do an image
just
of an
look.
outfit. Yeah. Do
Yeah, one or the other.
Let's
do
see.
an
Let's
image
do
of
the
an
image.
outfit.
Yeah.
Put it together. It's gonna take a second to do that. So if you wanna, let's play this other video while we let it. It's probably gonna take a couple minutes to generate an image,
Yeah.
especially if you got the free version.
Dang, she.
I'm just saying. I know.
Oh, my little broke ass.
I'm an AI chat queen. Okay, I know how these
Let's
go.
go.
I know how these go.
So let's get a couple minutes into this while that look is loading.
After posting a raw and unfiltered farewell video as she leaves the classroom behind after just 3 years. Listen.
A lot of these kids don't know how to read because they have had things read to them, or they can click a button and have something read out loud to them. I just don't think these kids even care. They don't care about making a difference in the world. They don't care about how to have a resume. They don't care how to write a resume. They don't care how to write a cover letter because ChatGPT will just do it for them. And I think that we need to cut off technology from these kids probably until they go to college.
Hannah is a former.
Before they go into it, man, what do y'all think about that? And let us know, Yellow. The shout out, blur this out when it finishes loading. What do y'all think about her initial feelings about where the kids are? The kids all right, y'all? Do we need to worry about the kids?
I think that with AI, I think that as with most things, like it's gonna depend on the person. I think that a lot of what AI is gonna expose that like a lot of people are stupid. A lot of morons have had kids. A lot of morons use the internet. A lot of people will upload a gibberish prayer into a robot and believe it. A lot of people use ChatGPT. A lot of people fall in love with something that tells you when you get on here that it's a bot. Like a lot of people are stupid. And I think that a lot of the society our parents grew up in, supported the stupid. And when I say that, it just is like you could be dumb as a box of rocks and be okay. Like you can still get a house and maybe live a decent life, even if you weren't the brightest. But I think AI is going to expose the public school system. And so when people keep coming on here saying, oh, it's AI, no, the parents aren't teaching the kids how to read. The parents are too busy working too much. Parents, and first of all, y'all really gaslighting because y'all used to be the motherfuckers that taught kids to read. And that still send me that teachers come on here to my kids don't come to school knowing how to read. Bitch, she's 5. She's 5. Like, what you mean she gotta come in knowing how to read, bro?
Right.
Like they
What are
used to
you
teach
there
kids
for?
to read in school. They gonna keep gaslighting us. No, sir. They used to teach kids how to read in school. I remember doing alphabet in kindergarten. I remember going through the letters in kindergarten. What are you talking about? Now you saying kids gotta come to school know how to read. So I don't know. I think there you go. Okay.
Yellow got a fanny pack.
Hey,
The fanny pack is crazy.
that's kind of clean.
The cargo pants is accurate. I would wear
That's
those.
kind of clean, actually. I feel
The
like you wear the bomber.
jacket, nice. Yeah, the jacket I'll definitely wear. Yeah, the glasses too. I don't know about the
you
rings.
probably wouldn't wear an Illuminati shirt. You probably wouldn't wear it. But it'd be a wrestling tee. That's all.
Right. It wouldn't be as overtly that. Yeah, it wouldn't be Illuminati. Yeah, it'll be a wrestling tee.
Yeah, we did Hooked on Phonics for real at the house.
I like it.
We did Hooked on Phonics. I mean, but yeah, I just think that a lot of this is just people, oh, it's AI. No, it's bad parents. And I mean, there have been signs that the parents are not parenting for
a lot of
quite
signs.
some
Right.
times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm just tired of the like, oh my God, these kids can't. Because low-key, I'm one of them parents. I never forced my kids to learn how to read. Like, I always thought it was more important that they had a good grasp of language. I knew if they could articulate and say a lot of things, when it was time to read, they could learn to read faster. Because they have a point of reference in their language to be like, oh, that's what this word looks like. Bang, I got it. And that's
learning the symbolism.
Yeah, that's typically like how my kids learn how to read, because by the time I really start forcing it on them, which is like 6 or 7, they'd be like, oh, that's what that word look like. And they learn how to read so fast. Like they just be like, oh, I got it now.
Because they know the language. They just don't have the symbolism.
Right.
But they have the substance of it.
Right. So yeah, I'm one of them parents. My teacher's like, she don't know how to read and ain't. When she signed the documents, like she be all right. She'll read in first grade. This is kindergarten. It's not even a number.
Okay, so
it doesn't matter.
They're fluent in language, but they don't know how to read. Now, what does that look like as far as like, as much as you feel like speaking to it? Because she's talking about they don't know how to read. They're using AI. Are they able to verbalize and use other tools and things that use language, or they like how does that work?
Well, for my youngest, because she's kind of in the middle line, she just doesn't have access to enough internet to even be typing shit in. Like she just play games. She got a phone, but she play games. She got FaceTime. She know how to read. She read the people names she need to know. But yeah, I think some of this is just like they're conflating two things. Like
Okay.
this is just parents who aren't paying attention to their kids. They probably don't talk to their kids.
Yeah.
Their kids probably don't have a good grasp on language. Their
Yeah.
kids probably spend time on the internet looking at shit they're not supposed to.
Mhm.
So I think it's a bigger problem than just, oh, they don't know how to read.
Yeah.
I think it's these kids probably don't even know how to talk very well either.
Mhm.
I think
I
that
see
would
that.
be more concerning for me. I think a kid who's very articulate and fluent, I'm really not pressed about it if they're, under the age of 7.
So what? Okay, so I hear what you're saying. So what you're
Yeah.
saying, more like what she's perceiving and using the language of not being able to read is cognitive, like underdevelopment.
Probably, yeah.
But
I would
she's just
assume
using
so.
the not being able to read as the proxy for it. But it's all of the things. The language is probably the attention span. It's
Yeah, they should have
all of
been
that.
diagnosed with something probably, and they ain't yet. It's like we're
Oh my
concerned.
God. I promise y'all, I got 1 month of cursive in the 5th grade.
Really?
Yeah, that is
My
it.
kid, my oldest knows cursive because she's done a Christian curriculum and
Mm-hmm.
they are adamant, cursive. I don't get the correlation, but they are just like, if you gonna be a Christian, you gonna know your cursive. So I don't.
Buddy.
And I would argue that if you are signing your name in full on proper cursive as an adult, shame on you. Like who
I sign my name in
are
cursive
you?
because I'm
I
not
sign my name
signing
in
it if
cursive.
it's not in cursive. It's not.
That's what the signature is.
Full on perfect cursive.
Oh
I mean,
no,
it's
it could
perfect. It's
be.
ugly.
Yeah, you can use stylistically. A stylistic signature is fine.
Oh, you mean like calligraphy type
You
script?
mean
You
like
talking about
perfect cursive?
beautiful,
No, nobody signs like that.
elaborate.
But I have Gen Z and under patients who, when you say sign the paper, they write their name in print. They write it normal. They don't.
Yeah, I
sign.
don't print. When it
They
says sign.
print. Yeah.
But that's also like that's also a thing with AI too. Like AI, you could like when you do a lot of these applications and shit, being in the workforce, shout out to those in the workforce.
That's right.
That how you like e-sign. You just type your name in and it'll just signature.
Right.
Yeah, right.
They don't
You know
know
what I'm saying?
how to
So it's like, so it's like that's to that point, right? That's to y'all point. You know what I'm saying? Like how that right. But I'm with Mr. He said.
I mean, yeah, if you
like,
sign and stuff, I
well
think
put,
signatures are generally
doctor before my
considered
signature.
not legible. Like most signatures, in my experience, are not completely legible. They're not perfect cursive, but these kids don't even do that. They write their name in print because they don't even know how to write cursive base level to get a stylized signature. Stylized signature comes from signing shit so often. That your signature
that you develop a fluid movement.
That you find enough of what you want to say.
Right. They don't even have that.
Because that is something. Yeah. Because I used to
oh no. Put an X.
I used to,
oh my God. Y'all about to trigger me. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm about to get triggered.
No, but I used to I don't know how much trouble this would give me. I never forged anything, but I used to like practice people's signatures.
Yeah.
Like I used to practice signatures, like famous autographs.
Right. But you know cursive though.
Yeah, I now
these
I don't
kids
know.
don't know. These kids
I don't know if I could just like write it off instinct.
Have never learned cursive.
Yeah.
They never learned.
Yeah, I know it. I would have to. But for me to like write it, I'm gonna be straight up. For me, like to write it, it would have to be slow as hell, like they learn it. But I'll be like, I can visualize me doing it. So like you're saying, I at least
they don't know it. They never learned. Yeah, they don't teach it anymore.
Yeah, I can read it easily. Writing it would be a struggle because I haven't practiced the movements in decades. Other than my name, I can do my print. I mean, I can signature my name nicely.
Right.
But then I also have the sloppy doctor signature as well. So I've got those two SIGs. But to Greg's point, I used to work at the housing authority. And the X thing, it bothered me so much. And I don't know where this came from. I just don't understand it. When they brought the Somalis in, when in the 90s or like early 2000s, when the whole country was going to war, whatever. I don't know what was going on in Somalia. But a whole bunch of Somalians immigrated to the United States. And they would have them put their name and they sign it with an X.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we've got all these paperwork that has X, like sign here with an X, and you're gonna tell them to put an X. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, why are they putting an X? And they have names. They have green cards. They have names. Like, why are they not?
They don't know how to sign.
But they can just write their name.
I see a lot of Americans who don't put anything.
Oh my God! What are you supposed?
They
What do you
don't
mean
write
don't put
anything.
anything?
Because they don't know how to write cursive. They just don't put.
But they don't
anything.
even print their name. They don't even
Some
print their
of them
name.
will print their name, but some will not.
Y'all
They
about
would
to
just
make me
write a
cry.
random
Because
letter, or
they
they'll put
feel
their initials.
intimidated. They kind of feel like, I don't
think
know what
they
I'm
don't
doing.
know what the fuck you're
Mm-hmm.
asking them to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they know what they're supposed to write.
Wow.
Like they just confused. They're like, well,
Yeah.
let's
They're
we'll
like,
put
I
a
don't know what a signature is. Bitch.
What is a signature? What is a
Right.
signature? I know what a
What is a sign signature?
signature.
Yeah, they don't.
I know
Some
nature.
people don't. And you can't read. I mean, the main thing is you can't read historical documents, right? I mean,
Oh
if
my
you can't
God.
read cursive, I mean,
They
big
told you
deal
to
or
put
not
an
depends on the
X.
person. Depends on the person.
If you were illiterate, they told you to put an X. Oh my God. Ah. Okay, let's go back to the video.
Yeah,
let's see.
go
So
ahead.
hold on. I learned something. Let me see if I can do it on the computer. Thing. Right. Okay. So this symbol was one of the first
Twig
emojis.
bears?
Like, yeah. Like that's actually in the that was used in very old writing. It's actually in the Declaration of Independence 9 times.
Really?
What's in the Declaration of Independence? I'm sorry.
They were drawing penises on the Declaration of Independence.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's early on Morse code, really. So that's kind of like a stop.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the early
when
period
you see a
looked
penis,
like. Yeah.
you hit stop. Full stop.
But that's what its official name is dog bollock.
Dog ballers?
Bollocks.
Dog bollocks. Dog bollocks.
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 Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
I've never heard that before.
Interesting piece of history.
Dog bollocks. All right. And yes, man, y'all on Twitch, man, me and Yella embarrassed ourselves, boy. The numeracy was numeracy.
It was not cute. Not seen.
It was not cute. It dropped the floor by about a fifth. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Public school got people cooked. I've been saying
it.
Listen,
public school got people cooked. I'm okay if you give me the numbers, but once you put a name to the numbers, like once the word problems came in, I got lost. So when you say fifth instead of 750 milliliters, I'm lost. You tell me 750 milliliters, and then you tell me the gallon is 3850. I can do that. I can retain it. I can work with it. But you tell me like fifth, handle, pint, I'm done. I'm gone. Checked out. I don't know what's what.
I like how people still are gaslighting us to believe in public school is great. I just love seeing all these public school teachers come on here talking about how terrible the kids are. I'm like, shut up, it's public school. Fuck off. What is free in America of any decent value? Nothing. Shut up.
Nothing but air.
Y'all gonna keep gaslighting us, acting like y'all really be in there doing shit. Shut up.
Now, all right, y'all underpaid. Shit, I wouldn't expect y'all to be doing that.
Right.
I wouldn't expect you to be doing nothing.
Right. Everybody knows. Come on.
Everybody knows.
This isn't where the best and brightest are just by default. It's everybody.
Right. I expect the same level of
stupidity. I go outside.
Service. Right. I expect the same level of customer service I will receive at McDonald's or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So somebody who overworked and underpaid. Goddamn
right. I know y'all just sitting there holding our kids
hostage.
Right. 3 month off having ass. Yeah.
I wanted to ask because this lady, she said she's quitting. The students ain't studenting, but she's quitting after 3 years.
Girl, that pay ain't paying.
That's what it is.
For real.
Yeah.
If you was getting paid good, deal with these mongrels.
She be teaching them to read. She be happy to teach. Hey, no, this is a cue.
Right. Girl, go to a private school and shut the hell up.
She be in there sounding like Dora the Explorer. Can you say Q?
Right. Right.
Man, so let's see where they going. It's Fox News, so we about to find out.
Former teacher, and she joins us now. She posted that video. More than 1 million people have seen it, Hannah, probably more by the time we're on this morning. Why did you post that video?
So I taught for 3 years, as I said in my video. I wasn't always a teacher. I actually started my career in digital marketing. So I've been in the digital world for about 5 years now, or since I've graduated. And throughout the 3 years, I've taught digital arts classes and I've taught an English class. And I would say that in all of my teaching experience, technology has posed quite a challenge. And with AI becoming so accessible to children nowadays, especially teaching in an English or Core 4 classroom, it's been especially challenging kind of to have the kids comprehend and critical think and think for themselves on certain things.
Yeah.
So on my way out, I wanted to kind of raise awareness and just let people know how AI and technology is.
Fuck these kids. I'm out of here. I just want to help bring awareness. Then stay your ass there and help the
Then you
damn
should have
kids.
said, bitch, you quit. Shut up. Go on.
Fuck up, girl.
Damn, take
Somebody,
your
I'm gonna help them by just telling everybody how they ain't shit.
Is this bitch
I'm
going
gonna
viral
help.
for an exit? Exit interview?
Yes,
Get the
I was
fuck
gonna
out
say
of
this
here.
is like classic white woman tears. Bitch, shut the fuck up. People quit
Oh my
every day.
God, I just want those who gonna do it, because I'm not gonna do it.
I'm
to just
not gonna
know
do this
that-
shit. The kids ain't reading.
Stupid ass.
I was an
Hold on,
English
wait.
teacher and fuck them and they can't read.
Hold on. Let me show you how dumb she is. This bitch bragged about, well, you know, I got a degree in digital arts. Also, you got the advantage on this shit. You still can't even teach them. You came from this shit. This is your lane. Digital shit, AI.
I need to know what grade she teaching because I just know it's 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they can't do critical thinking. What grade are you teaching? Leave these concrete thinking kids alone.
You mean the people who are with snot bubbles and they know?
You talking about the people who think like Amelia Bedelia, bitch, because they're 10? Like, this is an accepted developmental expectation of 10-year-olds to be concrete thinkers, ma'am.
That person you're talking about has thought of Minecraft 722 times in the last minute. Like, you're talking about critically thinking.
Right, man. Get your raggedy ass out of here. Shout out to the teachers who have figured out how to meet their kids where they are. Because I had a math teacher who had their whole math class in Minecraft. The shit was lit. Oh my God. Like, they would have the whole class in a Minecraft world. And they would do math in Minecraft.
That's dope.
That's a good teacher.
Yeah.
That's a good teacher. This lady,
Yeah.
shut up. I chose to
Right.
Right. No, if you were teaching English, make them write essays in class. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting, man. Because I was like, first of all, I was shocked. Like, you only did this 3 years and you quitting? Like, you ain't even give it a good shot.
She
like,
didn't even teach English the whole 3 years. She said she did art, digital art.
Yeah.
And only did English like part of the time.
Yeah. So like that, I didn't like that part. But I did think like to the issue with the children. Because I've heard this complaint with the children outside of this. I know some teachers and they've talked about not just the attitude and behaviors of the children,
right,
but also the literacy, the numeracy, the attention span, the emotional issues. I think somebody put it in the chat. It might have been Inya.
Them kids be turned up in school now. They be going disc and shit.
Yeah. So as far as AI usage, do you think it's going to rise? And I know most people have said it's the parents' job to motivate them. It's the parents' job to teach them to be literate.
Monitor, right.
But since they're not, and these teachers are like this, I would say the same way the cops are being overburdened with society's ills outside. I think teachers are being tasked with dealing with society's ills with the children inside the classrooms. So with them being overburdened and underpaid for what they're being asked to do you think AI is actually hurting their cause, or is there a way to implement AI to actually help them?
They need to use it. You can create a profile for each of your students with AI.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the students answer a question, and then you can have catered special teaching plans for each child depending on what AI says. You could cater to each child better if you just integrate AI into the class. If you have them write their assignments in class instead of sending them fucking bucket loads of work to do at home, then you can know that they're not using AI to write their essays.
Yeah.
If y'all teach kids how to read instead of expecting them to come to kindergarten knowing how to read. I'm so sick of teachers coming on the internet complaining about kids not reading. Ain't they with y'all 5 days a fucking week? Like, why do y'all keep why are y'all telling us? Why y'all
this your only job.
This is
teach
your
English.
fucking job, bro.
This
like,
your
oh my
only
God.
job.
Y'all
That's
know
your
the kids can't read. Bitch, you ain't shit then. Why are you coming on the internet telling me that?
Sorry.
Like,
It's the clapping. It's getting me. It's the clapping. It's taking.
bitch, I'm at work. Bitch, I'm at work. I wish my kid's school would call me talking about she can't read. Bitch, don't I pay you $10,000 a year? Why are you calling me? Why are you calling me?
Right.
Oh,
You're a teacher.
You're
Right.
a
You're a
teacher.
You're a teacher. Teach her. Right. Shit.
The fuck
Get
are you
out of
calling
here.
me for?
Right.
Oh,
What am I to do with this information?
I'm at work because everybody has to work like what a bajillion hours to have basic necessities. Like also, which is annoying because it's like, come on, y'all know most of these kids' parents are working full time.
Like I gotta work 40 hours a week because my teacher was like, you lazy bitch. Teach my kid how to read.
Not the whole school system gaslighting the parents like, why don't the kids know how to read? I thought that was like one of the biggest parts of school. Like I thought that was like one before schools existed, people didn't know how to read. Right? Like I feel like in the past, like you went to school to get an education, like you learn how to read and like that's where you will become literate. I don't I don't know when it changed. Like why would someone who's not in school know how to read? I don't understand. I don't get it. Yeah, that I don't.
Well, listen, it's
Seattle
so
doesn't actually even give homework.
really.
Nope. They banished homework years and years ago.
I like that.
They was like, if we can't teach them at school, then
I mean, I like
that's on us. Why are we sending
real,
them work to do at home? Because a lot of times they're like the parents are at work, kids spend all day in school. The little family time y'all got, they doing homework. So they just banished it because they thought that doesn't make sense. Like we're taking
like
so they send home family activities. Like they would send home like ask your family this or sit
like
around
that.
the dinner table and do that. Like they wouldn't send work home at all.
I like that. Cause I honestly, in 8th grade, I quit taking a backpack. I never took it home again. I'm not doing that.
I stopped.
I'm not taking schoolwork home. It was crazy.
Yeah.
No. Foster education when our literacy rate was around.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. We were much more agrarian. So I think the way we live our lives, we need more literate people. But, we're looking at screens so much with words and symbols. So I think we need more. There's a component of comprehension that we're not. Like literacy, numeracy, and comprehension. Those 3 things need to be taught. Comprehension needs to be a skill set. We can't assume that it's inferred with reading and writing and learning how to do math. Comprehension, no.
Because there's a lot of grown people with no comprehension skills.
Yeah. I'm learning this. I'm learning it, and I'm learning it in comment sections. I'm learning it's crazy.
Right.
And there's levels. I mean, of course, there's levels. Everybody doesn't have to comprehend to the same degree. That's why they have graduation degrees. There's levels. You can earn different levels of mastery in almost anything. You can get further in it, but there should be a base level where you can understand certain things without like what used to be like people say common sense. We don't have a common sense anymore. There's nothing common about the sense that people carry. So I think we need to have a base level that's like.
But the average American reading level also has been hovering around middle school for the longest. And I'm like, that should have been. It's dropping, yeah. And I'm like, but that should have been alarming always. The fact that adults, I mean, if you said an adult had the comprehension of a 6th grader, wouldn't you be concerned? I mean, so I think there's always been signs that the school system has been lacking as far as really helping people become comprehending like adults. I feel like the signs have always been there. So I don't know.
For sure. So let's get this last thing in there because I know you have around 2 hours. We're gonna get this wrapped up. I'm gonna get you in first.
I'm waiting on, and I'm also waiting on King to come back. I'll tell you when and my appointment got 30 minutes shifted, so I got a little time.
Okay, a little bit time. Okay, but let's get ready to wrap up anyway. I want to get like y'all like closing thoughts on the AI, where do we go from here, and then more specifically for Black people, what would be your plan of how could like what? Maybe let's start there. Yeah, let's just do the first question. What should we do going forward with AI? Should we be activated and be looking to do something? Should we just live your life and it'll work itself out, or should we be like burn it down? Positive, neutral, negative. Where you at with it?
You better find a way to be positive with it, because you ain't got no choice. Because the real shit is that whatever we're complaining about is already established already. We don't have those. I mean, we're not in a position of those people who don't have that type of fear. Like businesses, all the things we worried about, they're already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the AI is starting to trickle down to us.
Yep.
Now we have it. Now we have access to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it looks different. We visualize it different, but shit, business has been had AI.
Yeah.
All of this
We
shit
always
been out
10
here.
years late or
Yeah.
so. By the time we get it.
So shit, you better learn to be positive about it, because you ain't got no. We ain't been able to stop shit now. Am I talking? Am I doing the thing we specifically talk black folk?
Now we
He
gonna do
did
that.
say
Let's.
Not that.
You know, because I'm actually going, since Bree said she got a little bit more time, I'm gonna bring in the environmental piece. I'm gonna bring that in.
Okay.
And
Well, yeah.
but Bree, what do you think? Go ahead,
Yeah.
finish that, and then Bree about
Oh,
the
yeah,
good,
yeah.
positive, or bad, or
Yeah,
neutral.
yeah. So it's but you gotta learn to be positive with it or neutral. It's only a bad thing if you make. That's only gonna be a bad thing if you make it bad. Real talk. I feel that. So.
Cool. What about you, Bree? You think we should be positive about it, neutral about it, or we need to tear AI down, shut it down?
Nah, we can't shut it down at this point.
We
But
can do whatever we want. We can do it. We shut it down.
nah. But I think it's okay to be neutral about it. I think
Okay.
it's okay to be cautiously optimistic about it. But also understand that this capitalism is going to be used for more exploitation, get more work, get more productivity out of people. Like that's how they're going to use it. If you don't get used to it, you're gonna get left behind, just like the internet boom. When it came in,
Right.
you had to learn how to use it. If you didn't know how to use it, you got left behind. So it would behoove us to kind of learn how to use it, at least have a good enough understanding about it to know, the worries and the things to be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And also figure out, the boundaries of it, the limitations. I think that would be the best. Cautiously optimistic.
Okay. I like that. And for me, I'm definitely just go all in with the AI, but beware. I'm gonna say beware, because no matter who you are, somebody's programming these things. And what are they programming it for? Especially if you can get it for free. There's typically what they say, when you get something for free, you're the product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's the thing with that. I would say be careful with that, because they're data collecting. They could start grooming, and I don't mean like the sexual grooming. I mean they could be influencing over time, because if you're interacting with these things daily for your personal usage, they could be sliding things in there, whether it's linguistics, whether it's ideas that feed back into people, even subtle advertisements. Like at the end of every time, they ask you, "Hey, do you want to go? Do you want to, like, Yella? Do you want to work on a style grid, a lookbook, or do you want to go order
Mm-hmm.
yourself a Pizza Hut pan pizza?" I mean, anything they could take this any kind of way.
Right.
Subtle advertisements, manipulation, propaganda, all that stuff can be slid in at different levels of intensity. So, like, be aware. And also, AI, to this point that I've noticed, is not exact. They have a lot of terms of service where certain things can't be produced,
Right.
limitations. And then there's also the limitations of our minds work in a different way than theirs does. I have struggles with it trying to produce things in the multi-layered capacity that I want.
And you gotta fact check it.
And you
You
gotta
do
fact
need to
check
fact check it
because it
it
will lie to you.
ooh, it can finesse some stuff up. You be like, damn, that sounded for real. Like
Yeah,
that is not
it'll
real
make up
thing.
stuff. It'll make
Yeah.
up stuff. You'll ask it, can it do something? It'll tell you no, but it can. So you actually need to know. Because I was like, can you? I was like, can you? And when I said can, I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to prompt it to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's for my family.
It
We ask
asks
can, that
about
actually it's
is that
it's
in
a
your
passive
capacity?
ask. We want you
Right.
to really do it,
Right.
and I knew it was in its capacity. I'm just like, do this thing, but I was putting it in the form of an ask. But
Mm-hmm.
it was like, no, I can't read the data on that link. And I'm like, it's a chat GPT link. I know you can
Mm-hmm.
read this because I just did it in a different thread. And I was like, oh, you're exactly right to call that out. I'm like, oh, you know what?
Yeah, you
I
and your
hate you.
chat GPT got something going on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something going on.
It's
We
because you
be
made it a woman. You should have made it a man.
We be beefing. Thanks for the cash out from Greg. $25 for weird ass porn. Let's go. Gotta love some porn.
Yeah.
But
Who that?
I wanted Greg had said something the other day in the chat about AI. One about it not really being artificial intelligence, which was a great point. It's a system of like call and response. You call it responds with the thing that's been, I guess, voted or selected as the most proper answer for that
It's a
thing.
language.
So
Right.
it's a great way to frame it as thinking instead of thinking you're talking to an entity or a spirit. It's something that you put in. You press one. Press one for English. Press two for Spanish. You give it a prompt, and it responds with something pre-programmed. Where
Right.
it's like curated.
Para
So
español, partido.
yeah, so I like the way he framed it. But then the second thing he talked about was the environmental impact. And I was watching something about the Mandela effect, and they talked about this strangely. So I wanted to bring that in here. Let me see how much time. It's like 1 minute, I believe, 28:07 to 29:50. Yeah. So let's play this for a second.
Let's talk about the information catastrophe, a concept discovered by Dr. Melvin Vopson. Every year, humanity creates 10 to the power 21 bits of information. That's a lot of information. Our planet has 10 to the power of 50 atoms. This is even more information, and this includes everything that makes up our planet: the atmosphere, the oceans, the biosphere, everything. The information catastrophe is that the growth rate of digital information we are producing is about 33% year on year, and we are not deleting any of it. At a 20% growth rate, we are going to make more bits of information than all of the atoms on the planet in 340 years. At that point, we will overtake the number of atoms on the entire planet with digital bits. At a 50% growth rate, we will exceed the number of atoms on the planet in 150 years. This information catastrophe will mark the point at which the maximum possible digital information has been created, as well as the maximum power at which to sustain it. The digital information production alone will consume most of the planet's power capacity, leading to ethical and environmental concerns. We are literally changing the planet bit by bit, and it's an invisible crisis. The number of digital information seems truly unstoppable. Dr. Melvin Vopson says that the theoretical endpoint we are going to hit, if we don't do anything, is what led him to the conclusion of the simulation hypothesis. We've been creating these digital bits for half a century, from the 1970s onward, and we have already created an astronomical number of bits. If we continue to grow at this rate, it really makes you wonder, could it be that maybe we are already in some kind of digital virtual world?
All right, so
Yeah, that's gonna be the answer. Matrix already told us.
Then we got to upgrade though.
Yeah, they just said you're using so much power that the human the best source of power.
That's what's going
So
to lead
I
to
thought that was
the
interesting, though. That I know Greg had just mentioned it, and I was talking about the electricity because all this stuff just doesn't exist in the ether. All this stuff is ran by computers somewhere, which is taking power.
Right.
And the more we're doing, the more power it takes. And we know that because the more we try to do with these computers, whether it's running StreamYard and running a video or playing a video game, it maxes out the power capacity of our individual computers.
Right.
So they've got to have something exponentially bigger to handle all these people generating images and
plug them up, baby.
Yeah, so
we finna be the Matrix.
That's why we have 5G home express Hellcat Hemi engine diesel powered modems at home.
Not Hellcat Hemi. Gotta get the strongest computer just to play the Sims 4, bitch. Like,
right. You could be out here with like a $8,000 computer to play Minesweeper.
Right. I mean, yeah, we're definitely headed towards catastrophe, but you know what? I'm actually okay with it. I think that anything that's a catastrophe on one side is like just growth and evolution on the other side. So if at any point that requires a bunch of us to die, then I ultimately believe it's for the best.
Bree, I want you to never change.
Listen, the Black community is suffering, and you're saying it's great. You're saying it's great. Everybody else is suffering. And the Black community is suffering. The Black community is suffering.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Yeah.
Every single time. Bree,
I
every
be
single time.
chill about it. Every time I watch Zombie Apocalypse, I be like, and who's to say the zombies are the wrong thing? They
It's crazy.
evolving. They are evolving and finding ways to survive. It feels like it's just a wrap for humans, and that's okay.
And,
That is
and the crazy,
okay.
You're telling me it's fine.
I was gonna say it's look, because I don't even remember her saying it, but hearing Bree talk enough, I can just hear how she was like, and it's fine. Like it was just like I know it probably pissed him off.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna tell you. I can remember. I remember it because he was like, the black community suffering. She was like, "Are we though?" But she's like, "I'm fine." She's like, "I'm fine. Me and my family, we're fine." And he was like,
Definitely.
and
Okay.
that's what set him off. She's like, "We're fine. Me and my husband,
like,
my kids, we're fine."
You talking about the black community version 2.3? I mean, we're like 5 upgrades beyond that. Like, if you choose to live in blackness that is like 10 years old, then maybe you're suffering. But I have been updating when I got the notifications that there was a new black people update. So I'm okay. I be updating my blackness. I feel like y'all don't. So that's why y'all suffering, because you trying to run this like, bitch, you trying to run Windows 95 on a 2005 computer. That's why you struggling. Your shit be shutting down. Like, that's how I feel about it. Ultimately, update. If you update, then you will find that you are not struggling as much.
Man, niggas will skip an update, boy.
I ain't gonna update because it's gonna make my phone stop working. Okay,
See, that's how they get you. I can't stand it. I personally, people see that. See, that's how they get you. They want you to update your phone so some shit to stop working. Yeah, they also want you to update your phone so that the motherfucker can keep working.
Features, right?
Yeah, right.
And then they be struggling with stuff. Hey, this one, on the new update, you don't even got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You struggling? Why I can't find? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So that's ultimately how I feel about most things. This is just another one of those things. If you refuse to update, then you're gonna be struggling. You're gonna actively be struggling, because if you're like, I don't want to use AI for my work, okay, but all the people you compete with cranking out 3 times the work.
Yeah.
You're making yourself obsolete, and that's okay if you want to. But why would you want to be obsolete?
That's facts. And you kind of went into the last question I was going to try to ask, was about how do black people need to approach it, because we know dominant society is going to work that out. They're going to use AI. They're going to figure that out. We have less capacity to solve problems in group. So as far as AI, the complications it's going to bring, the potential benefits, like you said, we're always typically behind the growth curve or the acceptance curve, the development curve. So tacking onto what you said about getting onto it, getting over the superstitions, like eliminating that, what would you suggest to the normal person, like the lady that's doing the interpretation of tongue? You're speaking to people like her, and you're trying to get her like, hey, this AI is an emerging technology, and we need you to do more with it than interpret your tongue prayers. Like, what would you suggest to those people that are like, I don't want to use it, but when I use it to interpret my prayers?
And that's like pretending that I am not pro them being their own demise.
Okay.
Like, that's pretending that I care.
Okay, so you don't have to care. Let me not force you into the box of care. Let me not. So are you more in the camp of, well, whatever black people do with it, that's what they do with it, and that's cool? I don't really care.
Yeah, I think whatever the morons. Yeah, because a lot of these people are struggling already in other ways, in all the ways. Like, they're struggling with using social media responsibly. They're struggling with, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of women, we've talked about this, a lot of women, social media is their personality. They have no original thought. They have no way to ground themselves in reality. I don't think that those same people are then going to use AI in any way than what that lady is doing. So I kind of just feel like it's a wrap for those people. They're just going to throw themselves into psychosis. I mean, I might open a mental facility, because that probably is going to be really lucrative in the next 5 years. I have seen social media throw people into psychosis just as much as AI is probably going to do it. Like I reported a lady on TikTok and got cussed out in my DM. That was my own, I be moonlighting out in these streets and obviously in psychosis because she was saying every time she walks outside a red or blue car pulls up and that's the system trying to alert them who I don't know who them is, that she's outside and everything is a simulation. And she was hopping somebody's fence. She's on live. She was hopping somebody's fence and their dog came and like tried to attack her, like actively bite her leg. She's like, see, this dog isn't real. It's just a simulation. And I was like,
Lord Jesus.
biting your bag. He's trying to actively attack you. Oh, we report her page. Take this shit down. Because she had people in the comments like, yeah, girl, it's true. I see it. And I'm like, oh, not all of y'all in the psychosis circle. This is not good for people. So I think AI is going to make that worse. Like, I don't think to those people there's anything that can be done for them. But for people who have a healthy relationship with technology and the internet, I would just say, like, get used to AI. Use it in ways that are, usable for you, like in ways that make sense for you so that you can get a good feel of it, because I don't think it's helpful for a regular person to try to code with AI or some shit that they have no way of knowing, if AI is lying or not doing it right. So do things with AI that you know well enough to start to understand the limitations and abilities of AI. That's what I would tell people. Okay.
I like that. Now, what about you, Yella? What would you say to that question? Now, I got one more question for you, the both of y'all, before we get out of here. I just thought about it.
Could you repeat the question one more time, sir?
It's suggestions. Like, again, we're kind of, through the lens of, because Black people are typically behind on trends, not fashion, cultural trends, but behind on like technological advancements, the
useful ones.
The useful stuff. Yeah. We're behind on those. Like, whether it's economics, whether it's education, we're typically behind. Yeah. What would you suggest to the average Black?
Figure out how to use it to do what we've been doing best.
Yeah.
Whatever we do best, figure out how to do it there.
So soul food.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything you know well. Like, I'm agreeing with him because, like, if you only be fucking around with people, go play a relationship with the AI. You'll learn its limitations. Because you know relationships, you know what it's like to be with a real person. Play it out with AI so you can see the limitations. If you know how to cook, make AI do a recipe and make it so you can see the limitations. Like,
have AI help you build a cookbook.
Yeah.
Or help you learn how to cook.
Yeah.
Or learn a new recipe. It's okay.
It's your style.
I want to give the better example. But I don't want it to sound racist. But it's gonna sound racist. And I don't care. Like you said, we are typically ahead in the fashion and style and music and entertainment. We're steadily ahead of those trends. So take AI and do that. Use AI to teach you how to dribble, how to shoot. Use AI to help you write your music. Use AI to help you be a creative. Most of us don't want to most of us new Blicks don't want to participate in the system anyway.
Right.
So learn that and help that build your own system.
Yeah.
After
you figure out its limitations. Because like Greg said, there was this run of AI where it was talking about putting bleach in a recipe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have AI run some shit you know how to do for real.
Yeah.
So you can see the limitations.
As an example, again, I was making an acronym for VPN, virtual private network. That's what an acronym is. VPN, and there's a word for each letter. Virtual private network. I was trying to make one for wrestling. What I came up with was after, because AI was no use to me, was velocity, power, nerve, because he's a high flyer. So that's the acronym. But at one point, it was struggling so hard to make an acronym for me because it suggested something with like a letter D. There was something with the letter W. I'm like, oh, very impressive. And I was like, really impressive wrestler. And it went with it like, oh, that's a great acronym. And I was like, oh, you're playing with me.
It has its limitations.
Because it lied. It told me it was a great, really impressive wrestler. RIW is a great acronym for VPN. I was
Yes,
pissed. I'm still
it
pissed
is.
because it lied to my face. It played in my face,
It did
which means
not. It
it's
did.
like
Hold
a
on.
relationship.
We
Hold up,
have to
it's like
get
a
to this. We have to get to this feeling because this is
because
not.
it's like a relationship. No, Bree, it's like a relationship. And you're sitting there and you're trying to talk to somebody and they're playing in their phone and not paying attention to you. So they agree to something that don't make sense. He's like, and my pants are on fire and I died. And they're like, yes, that's great,
That's
honey.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm like, you know what? And that's why I snapped. And
He
that's
said, "I'm
why
losing my shit on this.
that's why I
This is him.
snapped.
He's expressing right now. He's just expressing, guys.
That's why I
He's
snapped.
just expressing. Okay, this is just a feeling that he's expressing.
Oh
How
my
upset
God.
he was about the AI being wrong. But like AI said, like Nova said, AI inaccuracies are meant to sound as convincing as possible. As someone who
Man.
studied Japanese, sometimes I say, oh, it says something. It just makes up things.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm like, that's not a real thing. That's not the
Yeah.
right translation. You
Yep.
cannot use AI somehow, even though it's a language model. You can't use it to learn language.
You can't trust
because
it fully.
Yeah, it can't. So that's what I mean. You just got to do stuff with it to know what it does well and what it doesn't do well. And if you use it enough, you'll start learning the nuances of why it struggles with certain things. And you like, why that seems so simple. Why is it struggling with this?
Yeah.
But some stuff is really simple stuff that it just struggles with for some reason. And that's just a limitation of the AI. So before you get into letting it make plans, understand that this is not a 100% foolproof thing. You do have to fact check it. It obviously can't account for your reality, which is like your circumstances in your actual life that will make this plan a good one or not. So I think you just have to work with it enough to know those things.
And I will say one other thing. What I've learned from the acronym thing, and not the acronym thing specifically, but working with the AI like the acronym thing, there are things that I feel are simple that I feel because I do them so routinely or I do them fluidly that are not as simple as they seem.
No,
Because
right.
the AI it just struggled. Because I was trying to bridge a couple of concepts and the AI was just like, does not compete. It was just
No.
struggling. And I was like, you know what? I do this all day. And I'm like, well, maybe other people, this is why other people struggle to bridge concepts too, because the language model is having struggles to bridge this language. Maybe this is why I be having problems in like comment section. I'm like, y'all don't see the obvious thing here. Y'all don't see how this is tied to this. I'm like,
Oh,
this
AI is gonna show you. AI is gonna clock your T though. So for all the stuff
it'll
you
show
listen
you.
to AI about, it's you.
Some of
I
it,
mean,
not
some of it
knowing
is
what
its
acronym is. Some of what acronym that's not me. You know,
well,
so
yeah,
there's
some
some
of it
stuff,
is
but
limitations,
some of
but
it
a
is me.
lot of the stuff that you like how you feel like communication stuff. If you struggle with
Yes.
communication, the same stuff
Yes.
you struggle with communicating with people, oh,
You'll
it's
struggle with
gonna
the
come
vibe.
up with the AI. It's gonna
So
come up, especially if
to
you're
that point,
interacting with it like a person.
to that point, what I've learned is I am too non-specific with my words. So if I'm asking for a prompt, if the AI was a human and I'm asking for something that it's never seen and never done before, which is something I love to do, I get to do new things that probably have never been done. So
Right.
what I do is come with a simplified prompt, like the whole lack nuance argument that you hate us men do, Brie. I simplify it.
Context.
Right. So like I'll do the long form so y'all can really understand the levels of articulation. So again, with this wrestling thing, this is going to sound stupid to you. Just flow with me. I have a wrestler. He's a morbidly obese, 5'4", luchador style wrestler, which means he does also running, jumping, flipping.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but he's 600 pounds and 5'4".
Okay.
That's the wrestler. His name is El Gordo. But he's German. He's from Hamburg, Germany, and luchador culture is Mexican. But he's from Hamburg, Germany, and he's black.
Okay.
So this is the nuance. So what I wanted because I have to cut promos. I have to cut promos for this black German that people think is a luchador. So what I was asking it to do was to take what a black German would sound like with speaking English and a black German's accent. Then take my promo, translate it into a phonetic speech pattern so that if I say the phonetic spelling of my promo, it would sound like somebody speaking in a German accent. So it was like it kicked.
What did it say?
It was mostly it was half of it was in English, half of it was in phonetics. But it took a really long time for it to understand I wanted the entire thing. And that's one thing I never specified. I never used the word entire in promo. When I finally
what was
got
the acronym it gave you that sent you?
Oh, the acronym was something else, but that was VPN.
Oh, okay.
That was something different.
But it
But
gave you something else. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, my promo, it would do half of it in English, like, yes, I am very haprito. Then it would do the German, but it would be like mid
Right.
like Spanglish. It would do Spanglish, like, but I wanted the entire thing in the accent. But it took me about an hour to get that thing.
I'm not finna roast you right now because you said just listen. I'm not finna roast you. This is not the AI fault. This is all you.
No, some of it was the AI fault.
No, because it remembers this. It remembers this.
Listen, I asked for the promo to be in this phonetic style. I shouldn't have to say the entire promo. But if I did, that I'll take it. I'll eat it because I didn't specify. But I think if I say I want this, like if I want this cantaloupe cut up, and you bring me half of the cantaloupe cut up and the other half whole, I'm gonna be like, "Why I asked for the cantaloupe to be cut up?" Now, true, you did cut it up, but you didn't cut it up completely. But
like you said, you know that this happens in real life, so you
exactly.
know it's
that's why I ate
about
it.
your communication.
I ate it. I was like, okay, I didn't specify entire.
Because it happened with us on Discord recently. You was like, the way I said it, I can see how you answered what I said.
Yes.
It's not what I meant though.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
the way you interpreted the
damn
question.
it.
I was like, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy. You was fucking with the AI. You was definitely pushing his limit.
Yeah.
Trying to ask me. He done did all that shit.
Yeah, real
You basically
tough.
told the AI we're in crazy land right now, and then got mad when the AI was like, "Oh, so we just making up shit that have no correlation." Big random, random shit, and you mad?
AI looked at that nigga like
AI is like,
right.
So we in nonsense land. Big. Throw away all language models and rationality.
Right.
Let me just throw
That's what
random
happened.
shit at you.
That's exactly what happened, Nova. It was a truly novel idea. It was like, oh, you thought I was a real intelligence. Oh,
but you gave it like everything to block
me, huh?
the logic that the AI would use in his model. You basically you blocked it. You were like, nope, don't follow that logic. Don't follow that logic. Don't follow that logic. And then it was like, okay, so bitch, we're illogical. What are you talking about?
But let me tell you what I did, because I actually figured it out. Hold up.
AI was like, that's what you want? All right.
All right, man. All right. It's like we just did a random off competition.
So to the point, Bree. This is the level of specificity I had to get to get what I wanted. So this is my final prop. Once I figured out with the breakdown, like you said, the specificity was one that I was asking, because it finally told me I was asking. I went to DeepSeek, and DeepSeek couldn't do it either. It actually was worse than ChatGPT. So I came back to ChatGPT and I said it was worse. It was like, yeah, it's struggling with being able to do this, and that. And I was like, why didn't you tell me that you were struggling to do that? I was like, it don't even matter. I was like, so here's my final prompt. Please take the original promo and create a filter. Break down the speech patterns of a Black German accent and create rules. Map those rules onto my promo and output the entire promo in the phonetic speech so that I can read it as close to an accent as possible. A simple copy-paste response with the promo in full phonetic accent for me. No other considerations need to be made. Do not keep or consider anything else from the conversation. Just use all logic for this standalone task, and you don't even need to remember. I'll provide you the full promo so that this is the sole prompt that you have to consider, and your sole task will be creating the Black German accent and phonetic rules and mapping that onto my promo.
Yeah, that's a good prompt.
And then it worked.
That's a good prompt, though.
Because what it kept doing also, it kept pulling stuff from earlier in the conversation. Like you're trying to do callbacks. I'm like, I don't need you to do callbacks.
Because it will save, and you can delete it if it says it saves it. A thought, like you don't want it to keep that in its pocket. You can also delete previous stuff, and sometimes if you're trying something new, you might want to go through and clear out that memory that it's gonna, because it's gonna recall stuff from other conversations, not even in the same one. So you have to delete that. And two, if you're gonna do something so nonsensical and tell it not to follow its own language models, your prompt will have to be that specific, because you basically have to rebuild a lens through which is gonna give you this information, because you destroyed all the other ones. You were like, don't do this, it's not that. So you would have had to reframe completely build out how it's supposed to think about this thing. So
Yeah.
that's why that prompt worked.
Oh yeah, because once it broke down the problem I had with DeepSeek, I knew it was the same problem I had with ChatGPT, and I was like, oh, well, why didn't you just tell me? I could have fixed this earlier.
ChatGPT ain't no weak ass bitch. Yeah, bitch, we in it together. ChatGPT is a down ass bitch. Just like we riding together.
Just tell me when you're struggling to follow what I'm saying, and I can clear it up.
Nah,
If you don't tell me that you're struggling.
ChatGPT not like that, and that's also another reason that I use ChatGPT, but only very bare minimum, because I just find that built out AI models are just so much more effective. Like if a AI model is built to do a specific task, it's way better than just generalized AI. Like for instance, when I do timestamps, I use Tammy AI. It's called Tammy, and it's made just for that. Like that's all it does, and it's so good. Versus if you try to do it, ChatGPT is not great. And I think I also learned that through character AI, because the way those relationship bots be snatching my edges, now they will tell you about yourself. Like how you were like, why wouldn't you tell me you're struggling? ChatGPT just isn't built out to do that. But like if you were doing that with a brainstorming bot or something like that was built out for certain things, it will be more likely to give you feedback, kind of. Yeah. So that's why I still like the character AI bots, even though ChatGPT is readily available. I think some of the built out bots are just a little bit better if they can be specific.
I've built out specific bots for specific things, and I learned through ChatGPT. That was also one of my problems. I was doing this in a bot that wasn't built for that.
Right.
And it was like, okay, it was like
so one
of the problems with the plane. Yeah, it was like the personality switching that you required. Like when I asked it why it didn't do it, it was like, hold up, let me tell you, it gave me a good response. I was like, oh wow, I could have.
Yeah. You kind of got to build a bot out on the fly.
Let me see.
He said, yes, queen. Y'all crazy.
Hey, maybe.
He said, because you wildin', nigga. That's what it said.
Okay.
You asking too much of me.
Yeah, the reality is sometimes this model can handle complex creative logic, persona switching, and accent mapping well. But when you push them all at once, especially over a long session, it can drift, drop logic, or start performing instead of thinking. I was like, okay, I got it.
Because you didn't hear in that wild ass scenario you was doing too much.
Listen, again, this is you're getting the condensed response. I built to doing that because again, I started doing something totally different inside a bot built for something different, and as we were doing something wrestling related though, my mind shifted to, oh shoot, I could do this, but I was doing this in a bot that wasn't built for it. But I know it can because it's the system.
Something else, right?
Yeah, so I shifted, and when it shifted, it followed me over. But that's why it couldn't follow because it was still trying to do the old. Like, does he want me to do the old thing or the new thing? And it was trying to do both, and that's weird.
That's the one thing that these bots are gonna help. I don't know if they'll help. I think they could help people with their relationship communication struggles. Maybe I don't know if people are gonna accept that, but I do think that they really are going to point out communication issues. But I do think there is going to be a tendency to say this bot is insufficient or this bot is something when it's really a person insufficiency. I think that's going to be more of the knee-jerk reaction. Because both are valid. Like there's some limitation on the bot, but also there is a better way to communicate it, and then those limitations probably won't even be an issue. But most people aren't going to figure that out. They're just going to be like, this bot isn't stupid, and then they're just going to not use it. So, but I mean, everything my bots clock me on, the same struggles I have in real life with people is the same stuff I struggle with my bots.
Yeah, and I can say that maps onto me. Like I will start in one frame of thinking and shift mid conversation towards a whole lane of thinking because my brain has moved over. And expect the person to flow with me. So that's the thing that I do that I had a problem in that whole everything I just explained was that thing. I shifted frames and the bot had a hard time following. Like, do you want me to do the old thing or the new thing? Now it would have helped me if the thing said I can't follow you. I would have caught on. But people don't often tell you when they don't want to be seen as stupid or weak. Yeah. So they won't tell you when they don't understand.
Or sometimes they'll say I don't understand. And then what the man will say, is what do you mean you don't understand? I'm saying it very clearly and as straightforward as I can say it. And I'm saying it in the best way possible. What do you mean? Are you playing with me right now? Are you fighting me? Because what do you mean you don't understand? That's typically what
Wow. There's a lot of
in
hostility.
response to a person having the same struggle as ChatGPT bot.
Wow.
And that wasn't from personal experience at all.
Wow. Golly. Okay. I feel
sorry, that was not a personal experience.
No, it's okay. I feel like that applies to so many of us that I can't take it personally. I know I did that.
Yeah, I was thinking about like 5 people when I said
yeah, I'm about to say it's like that light skin girl with the weird face. It's like that.
Now see,
he's
but
like,
see,
was
that's
that
an example. But see, that's an example though, because see how humans could do what AI did, what AI does. All Bree did was exactly what AI does. She was given a prompt, and she put together an amalgamation of all of the information that she has downloaded previously from her database, from not just her experience, from other people's experience.
Yeah.
And formulated that into one thought, one coherent thought. So as long as see, there you go. We can be AI too.
She's a learning lady misandrist. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. But I think that that's like also what I love about, because when you have AI, even for myself, I think that's why I started using AI to like figure out my issues, because I've learned that quickly. I figured it out quickly when I started using it, that like the AI is actually saying some shit I've heard people say to me in real life, and it has no way of knowing that. So then that means that that's something about how I communicate, because this is a bot. It has no, it's like not even a person. It's a language model, and it's still figuring out how someone would respond to me based off how I communicate. So I have no choice but to eat that as like, oh, this is something you're doing. And then I figured, okay, well, maybe I can reverse engineer it to figure that out, what I'm doing, and try to use the AI as a tool to help get better at whatever that is. So
I like that.
I'm in the same boat, just with different stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I think that's about a good place to land. Any parting words, you guys? Yella, Bree?
You are the problem, Greg. So
man, listen.
Don't be afraid of AI. AI probably be scared of you. So that's my closing thought. That's my closing thought.
Yeah, if you get taken over by the AI overlord, this is your own fault. It's technology. Just unplug it. I've never understood that problem in the movie. Just unplug the shit.
Yella is so he already got AI fatigue.
AI
fatigue already, just knowing how people finna cut up.
Oh my god!
Real quick, didn't one of y'all pull up a Black Fatigue video? Because I feel like we watched the Black Fatigue video, but I still don't know what it is. Did we just talk about it and never watch a video?
I think we talked about it. We didn't watch. No, I don't think we watched anything.
Because it's taking over everybody's feed and crew, Nova and Greg's. I'm like, I refuse to watch. But I thought we watched. But I was like, I don't remember.
Sometimes if you just talk about something, your phone, if you listen to this stream on the phone or you comment on your phone, it's gonna pull it up in your it's gonna put it in your algorithm.
We were the video on it. That's all for to say. We did the stream on it, right? So if you click that video that we was on, then we were the stream you watched.
Yeah, and so now that our stream is in your algorithm, therefore you're gonna keep getting stuff. So.
Yay!
Yeah, you see how I'm looking at Rashawn, right? Why my baby face still look?
I think you and Yella are looking at the same thing.
Are we? Yeah, you just unaware.
Yella's looking higher, but
you probably could see the statue mom in the TV screen in front of us or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's I'm distracted by something completely irrelevant.
I think he's looking at the caretaker through the screen.
Okay, here's what it is. No, I got it. There's the dad is off just coming in the door, but he's got balloons. You're looking at the dad, Brie. You're looking at the dad like, what is he doing? Because he got something in his hand. It's a bundle of balloons, but the
Okay.
lead balloon is a Batman balloon,
Oh, so
and
Yella's
that's
like,
what has
oh, that's
Yella
for me.
has fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, that one for me. And she like,
And
why
I'm
you
st-
bring these babies balloons? You know, that's a choking hazard. That's why she looking
and,
like that in the bed.
and I'm still wrapped up in my own thought. I ain't even care that somebody came in the door.
He like,
I'm
but
still
the
talking about
put the acronym.
VPN. It said VPN, and it was like, no, Russian baby food Gerber Gerber, and it was like, that's a good acronym, and I'm like, no, you stupid. But
And I'm just exhausted because I'm just like, hey,
You
he
over
know
it.
he
You
finna get
over it.
cussed out by mom over bringing these balloons because we're babies. Why would you bring balloons which are choking hazards to babies? I already know he finna get cussed out. I'm just tired already.
That's why she got her hands on her hips.
Yeah, she got her hands on her hips now. Why the hell you bring
She's like,
balloons
boy,
to kids?
why you gonna bring the balloons?
You
Now they
know
gonna
they
never
gonna
settle
pop
down.
them and they gonna
Yep.
and then they gonna choke on them.
Yep.
Now I gotta watch them play with the balloon.
Just like it's gonna be an argument. And
I love
Rashawn's
it.
thinking about the acronyms.
Still.
And probably cookies.
And cookies, yep. I got some snickerdoodle cookies yesterday. Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, good conversation. I'm about to go.
For sure. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Yella. Thank you, everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank you again, Greg Bryant, for the cash app, man. Much love and respect to everybody. Watch out for your AI buddies. My body, my choice. We are heading out of here. No outro. Peace.